Hey everyone, welcome.
Hey!
Okay. Hey everyone, welcome to the Fin Factor, the live edition. This is post game for game number 7 from round 2. The San Jose Sharks have defeated the Colorado Avalanche by a score of 3-2. We're moving on, baby. We're going to Western Conference Finals.
We didn't need overtime this time.
Yeah, how about
My
that?
heart feels better. I mean, it was a little scary at the end. That was nerve-wracking.
It was. They are a very talented team, very fast team, and they were really pressing at the end there. But
Yeah.
Sharks hung with it, and I don't think we ever when we're behind. We were always either tied or had the lead in that game, right? So
And if you look at the whole series, nobody won 2 games in a row.
that is true.
Every other game. Traded off every other game. Which
Home team's doing what they need to do.
Home team's doing what they need to do.
Well, yeah, home
Especially
team's
in
doing
games
what they
5,
need.
6, and 7.
Home team's doing what they need to do, but like you said, we're switching off once every game.
game.
So both the teams dropped one at home, or you could look at the other way around, I guess, that the away team picked one up. But throughout the rest of the series, after the first 4 games, it was home team taking over. So again, kind of goes back to what I've been preaching, was you're kind of going to expect that the home team is going to try to take those games. That's why they call it stealing a game when you take one away. So I just want to let you guys know right now, go ahead and get the comments and questions in right now. We'll be talking, obviously, and we'll go ahead and pull some comments. We've got Super Key Grip Joe in the house tonight, so he's going to be on the computer taking a look. We're going to try a little different format. Aaron's not going to have the laptop on his lap today, so
Yep.
we'll see.
I'm free.
If that
My
works
hands
better.
are free.
I think it might.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
I won't get yelled at.
Well, then I'll start
Yeah,
off
go
with Bear versus Sean. $2.70 here
Thank
for Donskoy
Donskoy,
with the
yeah, there you
silky
go.
smooth game winner. Thank you very much in the super chat.
Yeah, thank you. We really appreciate it. Everything that we get monetarily helps out the show. So.
Donskoy playing on that low utilization line, which this is only going to fuel the fire of everyone saying to scratch Haley and put Donskoy there,
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah, totally.
And it worked. It worked. I'm not complaining. And it's his first goal since January or something ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I think it was 30-plus games, 35, 36 games since he
Yeah.
scored a goal. What a great time to choose to get a game and series-winning goal.
I'm sure he chose it too.
Right, totally.
Yeah, totally.
But it was a good move. It was a good power move. He went around the net
Yeah.
and then shot it up high on near side over his shoulder. So it's
phenomenal.
I think it took Grubauer a little by surprise. He was a little bit screened.
If
It was a pretty quick release.
If I'm not mistaken, not unlike the game-winning goal against Pittsburgh, it's kind of the same little move there, right?
Yeah.
He was coming around on his forehand, wrapping, and then he shot it short side high, right?
Jonathan
I
notes
believe.
that
we see
Donskoy's...
Hurdle do that a lot. Sorry.
I was going to say, Jonathan says Donskoy's goal was identical to his overtime winner
Okay.
in the game. It scrolled on me.
Yeah, no,
Game 3
the
winner,
Pittsburgh
so-
one, yeah.
Yeah.
Real quick, American
We got
Daddy 408, $2 in the super chat. Thank you very much. Joe Pavelski makes my body tingle.
Oh wow, wow! Just throwing us to the curb that
Yep.
quickly, are you?
Well,
Hang on, John Doe, $1.99. They're coming quick here, real
All
quick. John Doe, $1.99 super chat. Thank you very much. Great
Thank you.
series, abs, well played and hard fought. And Paul Ola, $2 again in the super chat. Western Conference Finals, here we come.
Yeah, I'm excited. I cannot wait. I can't wait to get on with this. I don't want to just jump over everything that happened in the game. We'll go ahead and talk about that, but I do want to just say St. Louis Blues. I mean, they're waiting. Well, they're not really waiting for us because they're traveling
They
to
finished
us.
yesterday.
But
though.
yeah,
it
they're
wasn't like they And they
Exactly.
had a double overtime yesterday.
that hurts.
That's brutal.
It certainly does.
Yeah. So,
So-
I mean, they played a game and a half.
I'm really looking forward to that series, and we'll talk more about that later on. That series is going to be, I think, pretty tough. Maybe not as tough as Vegas still, but it's still in that same ballpark. I
It was
think.
such a
Definitely,
different
yeah.
series. It was tough because, at least in my untrained watching eye, anytime they got the puck, I'm like, and they're already in the zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's just such a fast team, and
Yeah.
and for a couple games, their passes were fast and crisp too. And like, I don't tend to agree with the announcers all the time. Like, they were like, "How do you defend against that?" And I totally agree. It was like pass, shot.
Yeah. No,
So-
no, I mean, what a series. What a series, really. I mean, anytime you go to 7, again, I think you had made the comment, somebody had said, why play 16 games when you can play 28 of
That was
them, right?
that was
So
in the chat at one point.
We're,
yeah.
we're up to 14 now, most of any team in the playoffs.
Yep.
So I really don't want to have to go to another 7. I think you were talking about when's game 1, when's game 2, and then he says, well, game 5 is this weird one because it's going to be at noon. I'm going, I hope it doesn't even go to 5. I hope we just get out of this as fast as we can so we can get our legs back under us.
I never expect a sweep.
Oh, never. Yeah,
Ever.
yeah.
I just you can't bank on that.
You can
No, for
want
sure.
one, but never expect it.
Yeah.
Right.
Zach Croft. Hello, Finn Factor.
Hello,
Woo!
Zach.
I have a question though from Angelo Nunez. Hey, Paul, what do you think about Pav's health?
Oh, what do I think? Oh, okay. Now I think that's a sarcastic comment.
Could be.
So-
I'm interested.
No, what do I
though.
think about his health? I'm holding that I don't think he's 100%. I still don't think he's 100%. But I mean, he came out and he did it. He got a goal. He got an assist. I'm not saying he was.
I think his head injury is 100%.
Okay.
But his body from not playing in over 2 weeks
fresh.
is not 100%.
Maybe,
when you're gone that long,
Yeah.
you lose the game. But your foot speed just a little bit. It's a lot different.
Did he though?
I think a little bit.
To me,
I mean,
he looked
but
pretty fresh.
He doesn't have a lot of foot speed anyway, so
Yeah.
it's not
hard
that
to
big
tell.
of a difference. But there's a couple times where I saw he kind of stumbled, like his legs would give out.
Okay.
Like it's kind of like his mind was ready to go. And
Okay.
It's like what I do a lot when I play soccer. I'm like, I think I'm younger than I am, and I go after a ball and then I fall on my feet. Because my feet just, it's like a cartoon. Your feet just keep moving.
Right.
So I kind of saw that a little bit from him. So I think it was great. He played. I mean, goal and assist.
Yeah.
The first goal and the assist on the second goal. He played great and he did what he needed to do.
No, I mean, to answer the question at least, I still don't think he's actually 100% in his total health, mind or body, one way or the other. But I mean, again, he's the captain. He's the guy that goes out there and he's going to give you everything he's got every shift, especially when it's on the line like tonight. He went out there and, what was it, 5 minutes, 6 minutes maybe, and he tips in a goal. And what a way to do it. Not to just get kind of like a garbage, whatever.
Or off his
of course, it's a Joe Pavelski fashion, right?
Yeah.
He puts a stick out and he tips it in. What a beautiful play. And, of course, who is the guy firing in there? Burnsy. And what do they practice every single time, the two of them? The first guy's on the ice every practice. What do they practice doing? Firing it from the point and him tipping it, like 30 pucks in a row. Burnsy just goes bam, 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 and he's tipping every single one. So it's not like he skipped a beat. But, again, playoffs, everyone's playing with a little bit of something. I don't think he's 100%. I don't think a lot of the guys on the team are 100%. Evander Kane certainly doesn't look like he's 100%
He looked better
right now
tonight
either.
than he did the rest of the series, though. He
What's
looked motivated tonight.
Yes, I will say that. He did look like he was throwing it around out there quite a bit.
He did get a secondary assist, so he got on the board.
Yeah.
On the second goal, so that's good that he's producing. I guess you can
Sure.
call it for a secondary assist.
And there's more than just the score sheet shows,
Right.
right? I mean, I think even the announcers were saying, look at this guy. He's taking hits left and right from Zadorov, and, he just keeps on coming. He just keeps on ticking. And I've said before, too, it's not just you taking the hit. When you're delivering the hit, it takes a little bit out of you. So, I mean, I don't know, kind of like the Rocky defense there, right? Just let them pound on you for a while and wear them down. So
you could say that about the whole series. They
Yeah.
waited until Game 7 in a 3-2 win, grinding it out at the very end to win the series. So,
Raider
job.
Rich and Christ, thank you very much. $2 in the super chat. Kudos to Tomash the Boss Hurdle.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Hurdle looked good.
Thank you for that.
I'm not sure who Mento for Kids is, but Paul went to the game. Love Fin Factor. Your show brightens my day and makes my body tingle.
All right.
Went to college with Paul 18 years ago. G2K all the way.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Okay, I need a name. I need a name from that, who that is. Because, yes, G2K, that was the dorm that we were in, Graham 200 crew. And they're like 2K. 2K is
Graham
2000.
doesn't even exist anymore.
But K was for crew.
Right? Didn't they demo Graham?
I think they did. Yeah, they blew it up. Yeah. No, Graham was cool because it was like 4 buildings and around a swimming pool.
Yeah.
And everybody was staring out the windows. Like,
So
like,
if you're
creepy.
Only took him 9 years to graduate.
Yeah, how about that?
If you're a current Santa Clara grad, you have no idea what we're talking about.
Yeah, current Santa Clara grads have no clue, but the rest of the Broncos, I think the older school guys, they know. So
Right.
did we get a name or no?
I'll let you know if
Okay.
it comes through, but
I
I
need
will
your name.
let you know that Nathaniel Arias, thank you very much. $4.99 in the super chat.
Thank you.
Hashtag respect to Sharks and their fans. Great fun and love this series. $5 for 5 goals. LOL. Excited about the Avs' future. Bruins are his team in the East, focusing solely on them now.
Thanks.
Hey,
As long as he's not taking the Blues now.
come on, man.
That's fine.
Refund.
That's fine.
Most times when you get eliminated, you go, I want the team who eliminated us to win the cup
No.
so that it makes sense. You don't
I
want to
was-
feel like you get knocked out for nothing, right?
I was not rooting for Vegas last year.
Okay, that's fair.
I wanted them to get knocked in their teeth. Which they did in the finals. It was fantastic. Washington.
Well, you were rooting.
4-1.
You said that you said this last show that the Capitals are the Sharks of the East. You said
Yes.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Don't
one
root
of the
for
Caps.
Boston.
Yeah.
Don't root for Boston.
All right. By the way, the Mento for Kids is Manuel T. Manuel T.
Oh, Manuel Torres. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Hey, what's up? How you doing, buddy? That's awesome. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in. That's great. I'm assuming you heard of us through Facebook then, or maybe Twitter. I don't know.
All right, I'm gonna go
Yeah.
back to question here. I'm gonna try to keep it on the questions here.
Yeah,
real quick. Phil Martins, Paul and Aaron, what are your thoughts on Eric Carlson's game tonight? I thought he was awful. I think that the hockey gods were getting back at him for ripping Dylan on the bench last game. Before you guys go, I'm actually gonna say I texted you guys and I was like the role of Evander Kane, the role of EK9 will be played by EK65 tonight because
Yeah.
he was just taking penalties.
Yeah. He didn't look great, but he didn't have to be great because the rest of the guys stepped up. So that thankfully he didn't have to be great. But we could talk about the trip that he had.
We could. However, I'm going to follow up on that real quick. The beauty of the San Jose Sharks this season is their depth. You have a guy like Erik Karlsson, superstar, all-world, Olympic, right? And this guy's having kind of an off night, maybe an off series, and some people might say, or an off part of the season even, right? Some folks have been kind of down on this guy. And I get that, don't get me wrong. But the nice thing is when your superstar on the team is having a bad day, you've got enough depth throughout your lineup that it does not matter, right? So
he's not the only superstar,
exactly.
too.
Like,
you not just star, but superstar. There are other superstars on this team.
Legitimately, Brent Burns, up for the Norse again, right? Legitimately, Marc-Eduard Vlasic. If there were 2 trophies for best defenseman, offense and defense, Vlasic would be up for that one too, right? I mean, every game he's been out, we've lost.
Yes.
So, again, it speaks to the depth. And when we speak to the level of depth that the team has, you have to look at the GM and say, man, guy's done a good job putting the team together.
Do you think we should give a Waterboy award out to Joachim Ryan?
Yes.
His 3 minutes tonight of ice time?
Well, somebody actually, John Doe said, not to pull away from Ryan, but
no, go ahead.
Donskoy scored the game winner on his only shot of the game and only played 7 minutes, 34 seconds. That is efficiency.
This is what DeBoer only wants, about 7 to 10 minutes of his fourth line, right? And if you can make something happen, that's how you're going to win a series, and this is how they win a series.
See, and I said this too. I said he's not. I know he likes to roll 4 lines, and everybody likes to quote that. He likes to roll 4 lines, but he's not going to roll all 4. We're seeing it in the ice time, right? The low utilization line is being utilized in a low amount or a smaller amount. 7 minutes for Donskoy, right?
Right.
Now, there's a great mismatch there, though, because when his line goes out there and they go, oh, that's the 4th line, guys, we'll throw a 4th line at him, and then you've got a guy that was playing on the 2nd line just the other day, right? I mean, this is where having that depth comes into play, and it's really deadly.
Well, the other 2 guys on that line are Melker and Gaudreau, and they had an extra 2.5 minutes of ice time because they killed penalties. Donskoy just hasn't killed penalties.
Yeah.
Ryan only had 3 minutes and 33 seconds time on ice, but you know what? Misfit came in big here. $20 in the super chat. 2016 rematch. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Thank
Hopefully
you,
it doesn't go to Game 7 again.
Some people saying he should get swag, and I agree, but it's you could do super chat or you could go to your guys' store.
That is true, and we'll go ahead and plug that really quick before we get to more questions. The store, www.thefinfactor.com. It's right there on the screen. If you're listening to the podcast, though, it is thefinfactor.com. And then there's a little 3-line. You click the button, says support the show. Click that. There's our store. So shirts, hats, stickers, all kinds of stuff you guys can check out. So we appreciate you support the show monetarily. There is another way to do that where you actually get something for it, too. So we appreciate it either way. Go ahead. More questions?
Yeah. So a lot of people asking about like the Blues Sharks record was during the season. Overall, it's not the postseason, so we'll see what happens. But I think somebody mentioned that the Sharks did have the advantage. Travis McLean asks, he says, Sharks with Pavelski back and Jones on his game, Karlsson getting healthy, and home ice advantage. I am super optimistic at the moment. You guys?
Well, how many games did the Sharks play against them when Binnington was in goal? Because as of January 2nd, I believe it was, the Blues were dead last in the league. And here they are in the conference finals. And it was all when they switched over to Binnington being the goalie.
Yep.
Completely turned things around for their entire season. So they were a different second half team for sure. And I don't know off the top of my head, not on my computer, when they played their games.
Yeah. I'm going to pull this one here. Did it matter what the regular season record was between Tampa Bay and Columbus?
Nope.
Didn't seem to matter in the playoffs, I'll tell you that. So, I think a lot of the regular season stuff, just throw it all out the window. It's great for stats. It's great for curves.
I was going to say.
It's great for writing articles and all that stuff.
It's great for the media to use that going into it and to hype up the game, and that's about it. Once you get into this season, stats go out the window.
And, there was an article written, I think it was Pierre LeBrun had said, we need to embrace and finally recognize that this is the league of parity. And I'm like, dude, where have you been? Yes, it's the league of parity. We've known this for a while. Maybe now more than ever, right? Because of the amount of teams that for the first time ever, all 4 wild cards went on and all the top teams got knocked out, right? So that happened for the first time ever, which is insane. So what?
Oh, yeah.
All 4 wild cards advanced, in the first round.
Right.
Yeah. So, it's the league of parity. It doesn't really matter what as long as you get to the show. Let's just say it that way. You just got to get in.
Yep.
You've got your ticket to the ball.
I think ever since the Kings were the 8th seed,
a
couple years, 5-6 years ago now, they were the 8th seed going into the playoffs, and they won it all. I think that made teams go, maybe we don't need to push so hard in the regular season just to kind of get, home ice. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's not that big of a deal. Or to win a division, it's not that big of a deal. Sharks didn't push, and now what? They are the top team left in the West, and they have home ice advantage.
That is true.
And if Boston loses, wait, who are they playing again?
Carolina.
Yeah, if Boston
Could you forget
loses,
about those jerks?
sorry, if Boston loses that series,
Yeah.
the Sharks have home ice
Yeah.
in the finals. So it really wasn't that big of a deal.
But even if they don't.
I'm just going back to the last 2 weeks of the regular
Sure.
season when the Sharks were just mailing it in, and everyone was upset, going, they're going to be awful, they're
Yeah.
going to get swept in the first round, Vegas is going to kill us. And we kept saying all along, it doesn't matter. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
But even if Boston wins that series, it's 4 games instead of 3 games that you would have at home. It's really not that huge of an advantage. It's 1 extra game if you go to the distance. It's 1 extra game where you would be playing at home. Now, I'd love to have that extra game at home, don't get me wrong, but it's not like it's going to tilt the series one way or the other just because you have that 1 extra game. If you can't beat the team regardless of which building you're in, then you probably don't deserve to win it.
I always think that the West Coast teams have a little bit more of an advantage for the finals because they're used to traveling more than the East Coast teams.
That's
long
good.
travel.
I like that.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Brian-
do one thing really quick. I want to show you what Super Key Grip Joe was doing to get my attention that he had another question. He was throwing his hands up, literally, like the...
Yes.
He's doing the
I'm
wax
in a
on,
dark
wax off.
corner.
Wow.
I need
Okay,
to
go
do
ahead.
Whatever I can here to let you know that Brian Baker, $5 in the super chat. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Brian.
Updating us on the last time we played St. Louis regular season. It went to overtime and Pavs got the game-winning goal. Love the pod, great content and consistent episodes. Thank you very much.
thanks.
And then right after that, on the heels even, Steel and Steam Productions, $5. Thank you very much.
Oh, thanks.
Hi guys, disappointingly I'm outnumbered here in Philly. I made it though, an amazing game. If we could beat the Avs without Pavs, we can win this cup.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, seriously,
We were missing our leading goal scorer for
For-
the entire series.
for 7 games, really, because, well, not all of that last game.
6
but,
games.
You know,
6 of the 7 games.
The funny thing is, Kurtz had a tweet out about how the Sharks' power play was not doing so well, and then all of a sudden Pavelski's back in, and it's like, hey, the power play looks a lot better, even though they were 0 for 3 tonight.
Yeah.
The power play looks like it's clicking and it's on, and I'm sure having Pavelski back has a lot to do with that. And I tweeted back to him, well, they looked pretty good in the last game 7 without Pavelski on the power play, though, right? 4 in 4 minutes. I'll take that. But yeah, again, speaks to the depth, right? You lose your leading goal scorer, and you still split the series 3-3 coming back for game 7 again, right?
I mean, imagine you're adding your leading goal scorer to that game 7,
Yeah.
right? Like, and most teams, you lose their lead. Well, what if they lost McKinnon, right?
Yeah.
For the first 6
Game over.
games. No, that's not.
Well, they lost him for a couple minutes, and I will say this: without McKinnon out there, when they had, I think it was something with an S. Was it-
Landeskog.
no, it was, they put out Soderberg with
Yeah.
those guys,
Yeah.
and they were stuck on the ice. They didn't know what, like not stuck, like, oh, we can't get our change in. They didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
You know, they need that
Their
presence.
chemistry.
And
Their
then when
chemistry.
McKinnon came back, it was like, oh, here they are. This is the
Yeah,
team that
yeah.
I'm
He
sitting
was-
on the edge of my
well,
seat.
and
He
the-
was not 100%.
And the
either.
tough thing about that too is, yeah, you pull Soderberg off of his line, right? So now you've
Exactly.
got chemistry that you have to figure out on that line as well. So, and again, DeBoer, the line blender, right? We've seen this all throughout the season.
This is why
Yeah.
he blends up the line. So when something like this happens, there's an injury.
Pavs goes down.
Pavelski goes down. It's your top guy, and now you got to mix up the lines. Everyone's used to playing with each other. They don't look lost like
Yeah.
McKinnon line did.
He's not
tonight.
just doing it to and make us really angry and think someone's getting traded.
Maybe a little bit of that. Maybe he's just trolling a little bit just to anger everybody.
I want to bring up 2 comments.
Go
One
ahead.
really quick here is from PHP44. Watching this after a game is becoming my favorite post-game tradition.
Oh,
LOL.
thank
Thank
you.
you.
But I also want to bring up Lahaina Divers 13. It was the Navy guy from last time.
Okay.
Thoughts on a reviewed goal finally going our way?
We had this
Yeah.
written down to talk about.
This was crazy because it's the captain of all people
Yeah.
of the Colorado Avalanche, Gabriel Landeskog, being a little lazy, getting off the ice. He skates up to the door and just stands there. I don't know if there was a guy in his way. I don't know if he's not used to just hopping the boards. But this to me, as a beer leaguer, a former beer leaguer, I've semi-retired. As a beer leaguer, like when it's time to change, that's when I actually skate the hardest, is to get off the ice so I can get the other guy on. And I'm flying over the board, so I'll just throw myself over, right? When I see professional athletes just kind of like lackadaisically, to me that's just like a pet peeve. Like, get off the ice so your guy can get on. You don't have to worry about getting to too many men, for instance, or as Shalina would say, hella dudes. in San Jose. Hella dudes on the ice.
That's just, it's a very lazy and I don't know. It's like a rookie move in a way.
It really is,
right? Like that.
They said, I think I was listening to the radio, and they said it basically looked like he was waiting for somebody to open the door for him.
Yeah. That's embarrassing because that was a 2-goal swing right there. Because the Sharks came back a couple minutes later and scored. Yeah. It would have been a 2-2 game, and it ended up being 3-1. I was tweeting about it, saying this is going to be the series killer right here. Is this lazy change, basically, by the captain of all people.
And, you can argue one way or the other. No, his skate was on the blue line or it wasn't on the blue line. It wasn't the refs. It's Toronto who makes that call, right?
The linesmen
linesmen do.
The linesmen are the ones that look at it on the iPad.
Okay.
And then I think they get assistance from Toronto.
I think so, too, yeah.
Because they have more angles and more camera angles and stuff. Feed it to them. But.
So, I mean, look, it might have been controversial, and you may have your opinion. I mean, the Colorado Avalanche fans that are watching us right now, first of all, hello. But secondly, if you have the opinion that maybe he was on the blue line or maybe he wasn't or it's inconclusive or what, look, if he just skates and goes off the bench or off and onto the bench and off the ice, it's not a question. And that's a simple play. You need no skill to pick your foot up and step off the ice.
Yeah.
So that was just a really lazy, kind of a weird thing for Gabriel Landeskog as a captain to do. Set the example, get off the ice. I don't know. To me, it was just really strange. I don't know.
It kind of seems like like a really bad pass trying to clear the puck. On the Sharks side, where it's like if you're talking out there and people are yelling time or they're telling you what's going on, you could do that. But it's these rushed, I'm going to clear the pucks, and it's like that was a really really bad decision that leads to a goal against. And in this case, it was a bad decision. It's like a little more hustle. This is the last game of the season. If you don't get, at that point you're already down a goal too, and you just got a goal at the end of the first period, which was heartbreaking. But
that was killer.
I do have a question though, because I'm a little fuzzy on one of the things. Now, if his skate was touching the blue line on the offensive zone side of it, does that put him back on side?
He's fine.
Or does he have to be?
Think of the
puck.
You're dragging your toe on the blue line when you're entering in. It's the same thing. You're like touching up
when you're entering, but when you've already been in and you need to
you're
check and get out.
That's how you touch up, as you hit the blue line.
But see, my only question is for the puck to be considered that it's left the zone. It can be on the blue line. It has to
all the way over.
It has to exit the blue line, right? So I'm wondering, maybe you guys know better than I do, and I think you just have to touch the blue line. I don't think you have to actually exit.
I think that's what they were talking about on the feet on the what do you call it? The announcers, right? They're saying, did his skate hit the blue line before he went off? And he didn't. I mean, that's just
Bear versus Chauncey's 1 foot on the blue line is considered onside,
and that's it. Okay, cool. Yeah, I was just checking.
Attention to detail by Landeskog. All he had to do was. He probably barely had to step even over a half a foot, and he would have been fine.
So the skate has a different rule than the puck in terms of it being considered out of the zone, right?
But it also took a very long time to review.
Yeah.
And to me, that freaked me out because I'm like, oh, here we go. They're going to call it a goal.
The longer it goes, the more inconclusive it feels.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
So,
I don't see what the response was, but John James Peacock says Landeskog had a great response to this, and took responsibility.
Oh, he's the captain. He should.
JJ Peacock.
I bet he would.
This is the guy who sent us the picture with the hat and the mustache, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you so much for sending that in. And by the way, anybody else who buys any of our swag, hats, shirts, or stickers even, please go ahead and take a picture of it. We've got another guy here who actually didn't take a picture of our swag, but I said, just don't take a picture of our swag with a toaster. And I was trying to be funny in that a toaster doesn't have... Yeah, this is what he did. So I guess this is a thing now. There's two things that I guess we're going to be known for. One is taking pictures with toasters, and the other one taking... there's me. Yeah, thank you.
Did you see the hashtag you put
The other
up
is,
there?
by the way, is the body tingle thing. What is that, the hashtag?
The hashtag he used.
I missed the hashtag. What was
TFF
that?
makes my body tingle.
Yes, I know, yeah. So, I guess body tingling and toasters are the thing that we're now known for.
We'll have to get some sort of like exfoliating shampoo in the store as well. Nathaniel Arias, $4.99. You're welcome, Paul.
Thank you so much.
But he's defending his Bruins thing, saying,
okay,
now that his abs are out, all I meant was have no dog in the fight in the West now to root for.
Okay.
Love watching your channel after every game. San Jose has an awesome fan base.
Okay, so right there, if
and
you
I
love
think he's
watching
also
our
mentioning
channel,
Landeskog saying very lazy, unless maybe he's calling you guys very lazy.
Yeah. No. If you love watching our channel, there's your dog in the fight right there. Because if you like watching us, the longer we stay in the fight, the longer you can watch us. So root for the San Jose Sharks with us.
He can root for who he wants to.
No,
root
he cannot.
He can root for the Bruins and then come and watch our post game.
Okay.
I'm rooting for a Bruins Sharks final. mainly because
Yeah, actually, there was
your bracket.
Somebody else was saying they have Bears. Bears
The Bears?
versus Sean in the bracket.
The
I'm
Bears.
trying to read
Yeah,
that
go ahead.
Bear versus Sean.
Okay.
$1.92 in the super chat. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
No comment, but let us know. I'm reading your stuff anyway here actually because you were the one letting us know about offside. But yep, nope, lost it completely.
What?
I
Lost
had
what?
I had a comment and it was gone
jumped.
because I interrupted myself.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay, sorry.
I'm
We'll
getting
just
good
find
at
a new
that.
comment. We'll
I'll
be good
find a
to
new
go.
comment. This one says Sharks.
Yeah. Sharks.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a good comment.
Charizard
I like that
with
one.
the Sharks.
We can go over some of the stats of the game,
Yeah, I was
too.
gonna say actually let's recap the game.
Yeah.
I think the biggest telling stat.
Yes.
And this happened, I think, in Game 5, was the faceoff percentage.
Mm-hmm.
The Sharks went, was it 62% in the faceoff circle?
Yeah.
And I don't know how much of that is to McKinnon. How much faceoffs does he take? He's a center. He's not a winger, right?
Yeah, he's a centerman, but when he came back,
His shoulder was
they
messed
said
up.
he wasn't taking any more faceoffs.
Probably because his shoulder.
Yep.
Because he was a 0%. So I didn't know if that meant he was 0 for 4 and it was 0% or 0 for...
He was 0
didn't
for
take
whatever.
any, but he had 0% in the faceoff
yeah.
circle.
He was 0 for whatever, and they stopped having him take faceoffs after the shoulder injury. And obviously due to the shoulder
That's
injury.
a big hit.
Oh,
for them,
huge.
Because
yeah.
he's probably one of their better faceoff
Well,
guys.
think about Couture. When Couture had his injury with his
Yeah.
ankle or something, I think is what it was, and then he was having a hard time getting the leverage in the
he
faceoff
said
dot.
that as much, right?
Yeah.
He said I was awful in the faceoff because
Yep.
I couldn't get the leverage.
Yep.
Yep.
So
That's a big stat. I mean,
huge
you're
blow.
controlling, especially when you have the lead.
Yeah.
That's even better. When you have the lead and you get to control the puck right off the bat, off of the faceoff, that's going to help you control the game and possess the puck.
Yeah, see, and you go and you say, oh, well, if they had McKinnon the whole time, this might have been a different game. They're lucky that McKinnon went down. And I'm going, yeah, at the same time, you know what? Again, we were missing our captain and our leading goal scorer, and it's all about the depth on the team.
Well, and
the Sharks had the depth. Colorado Avalanche didn't. Hey, injuries are part of the game. Sometimes you have a guy go down, and hopefully it's not your superstar, but sometimes it is.
If you lose a guy who's one of your guys on the one-line team that you have, it's going to hurt.
It definitely will. Yeah. And again, the Sharks are in a very fortunate position to have a top 9 that is a good, deadly top 9.
Kudos to Doug Wilson for putting together this roster.
You know what the goofy
being
thing is?
so deep.
The goofiest part of it is not only do they have a top 9 that is really deadly, they've got 3 amazing defensemen, 2 of which are offensive, and one's kind of, can play defense fairly well when he's on his game.
A two-way defenseman.
Sure,
'Cause
yeah.
he scores.
Yeah.
He had 2 goals the other game.
Well, and Vlasic, right, yeah.
Oh,
exactly.
who are you talking about?
I was saying Erik Karlsson's not too bad on the defensive side when he's playing properly
I
defensively.
thought you were talking about Vlasic.
No, hey, Pickles has played a really great series as well. So
Green Dog Live, thank you very much, and $4.99 in the
thank
super
you.
chat. The only Sharks fan from Louisiana just found the show. Love the
Nice.
podcast. What do y'all think about Jonesy's turnaround in this series?
there's no turnaround.
It's a continuation from Game 4?
Yeah,
5.
five.
Game 5 of the first series.
Yeah.
He's been amazing. And Paul's going to take full credit for his
Not full.
stick.
Most credit, not full credit.
Like 30% credit is what I'll let you take.
You know that means he's going to want to tell the story again.
No, I don't want to tell the story. They want to hear it though.
We'll wait until the
Yeah,
third,
we'll
the third
get
hour
there.
of
We'll
the
get there.
podcast.
We'll get there. Yeah, let's talk games still. Go ahead.
No, you guys were talking.
No,
game.
what were we saying?
Oh.
I don't even know.
No, just what do you think about Jones's play this series?
Again, you want to talk?
I'd say he's been fantastic.
Yeah, fire away.
I think he's exactly who we thought he was and who we've been saying he's going to be in the playoffs all season long because people were worried about his save percentage because it was below 900.
Yeah.
And people were comparing, upset that we didn't get a certain Columbus goalie who I can say it now,
Bobrovsky
did not move on and Jones did.
Yeah.
Jones
there,
is still my goalie.
Now
you
you
can
can
say
talk about Bobrovsky
Jones,
all you want.
I'm so happy that Jones is on our team and it was not Bobrovsky, who gave up 11 goals in his last 3 games.
Shoeshine mentions that 31-50. That's the 62% win for the Sharks on the faceoffs. Doesn't tell much of the story though, as the Avs won much of them in the third. Like,
Right,
wow,
so
that-
it was worse.
Desperation.
I need to reset my whole brain right
little
now. That just-
too little,
yeah.
too late is what it comes down to, right?
Except I was panicking. I don't know about you guys.
Oh, I was panicking. Don't get me wrong.
It wasn't too little. It just
Panicking. I was more of like, another overtime is coming.
Hey, no,
Not
it
that we
really-
were going to lose, but
based on Ruzanowski's radio performance, I
Yes.
thought they had scored 3 times, but apparently Jones
Made
has
some
12
great
arms
saves.
and like 16 legs.
The
Right.
thing is, when you listen to Dan Ruzanowski on the radio, he's so passionate and so lively in his call that if he describes how he's opening a can of Coke, you're going to have a heart attack. right? This guy, the way that he says everything, it's just everything is incredible and amazing, and you're just like shaking, and he gets me going every time, man. I'm like, Dan, you gotta save the exciting parts for the exciting part of the game. Not every single thing has to be you screaming and
20,
oh my god,
20
I'm gonna
seconds
die.
into the game, and it's like,
Yeah.
which is,
but I love
awesome
it.
to
I love
listen
the
to,
call.
you know?
Dan's awesome. Dan's amazing. Obviously, I'm being a little facetious here, but yeah, he makes my heart pound in the wrong way.
Tingle. There you
Yeah,
go.
he makes my heart tingle.
All right, Steel and Steam Productions, $5 in the super chat. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Did that Donskoy goal remind everyone of his overtime goal against the Pens? And I think definitely we talked about that earlier.
Yeah.
Also, your hat is tempting to buy. Not sure why. LOL.
Your hat is what? Tempting
The
to buy?
one that I didn't
Oh, the
wear.
one that this one, the Fin Factor hat is
Good.
tempting to
Take it
buy.
off.
Well, it should be. Look at
We
this
should
thing.
tempt you a little bit more.
It's awesome, dude.
Ask
The stitching pops off that hat really good too. It's really nice hat. I love
It's really
this hat.
sharp. It's the Sharks colors.
This
and it looks
is
really good.
This is the only hat I wear now,
Yeah.
and not just for advertising purposes or anything like that. Although it does help. I've had folks in Costco that recognize me. I mean,
Oh,
really.
yeah.
So, but no, it's a nice, comfortable hat, and you don't have to worry about it fitting or not fitting because it's not a flex fit. It's the snapback, so it helps.
All right, question from Ryan Sontag, $2 in the super chat. Thank you very much. Does Pavs sit out their first game or two versus St. Louis?
No, he's back.
I think he's back.
He's back.
I would say if he's feeling like he needs to, he will.
Unless he had a setback with his head injury
Right.
where he's getting
Yeah.
headaches.
Yeah,
or
other than that,
something,
he's out there.
He's going to be out there.
No, exactly. I think the fact that he came back, whether or not he's 100% right now, or he isn't or not, I don't know. But the fact that he came back and played in this game, I think that's all you need to know. He's going to be playing from here on out. The only thing that's going to happen with him that is if, like you said, he has some other issue where it pops up again. If he takes a fall or a bump or something like that during a practice, then yeah, maybe he's not going to play in the game one. But
I don't even think that. It's more of head injuries like that when you get concussion.
take a while and then
They can come back.
Sure, yeah,
Crosby
relapse.
sat out for like a year because of it.
sure.
Because he couldn't get his head back together.
Yeah, so I mean, we're hoping that Pavs is A-okay and ready to play again. So
I think it'll be fine. I mean, game one's on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday at 5 o'clock? 5 o'clock on Saturday. So that was our super
producer Jason with the groan back there.
Can you insert a sigh on there?
Right.
I think so. Here's the thing. Jason said he would like to have some sleep at some point, and because the Sharks keep winning, and every day
You get 3 days off.
every other day is a
So
a
wait,
game.
so when are the games? You guys, I think somebody was posting them in chat, but I wasn't listening, and I'm following.
Game one will be Saturday. Game two will be Monday. Game one is at 5. Game two is at 6.
game
And then
game 5 is at noon. You said right?
yeah, game 5 is a Sunday
Won't be necessary.
noon game in San Jose, which is just I
Yeah.
hate noon games.
Yeah, this is no good.
Yeah, the vibe is just different. It's just not. It's not fun. And the Sharks usually do not play well in the afternoon games.
No, they're not.
But
very
the
good.
NHL controls the marketing for it, and they want to. What's good is it's good for the NHL and it's good for the Sharks. They're going to get a lot of national exposure because it's going to be on a Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern,
Right.
which is amazing. So they're going to be able to watch. So I mean, my in-laws are in Boston. They're going to be able to watch the game without falling asleep.
Yeah, it's great.
So it's good. It's good for the league. It's
Yeah.
good for the Sharks and the Blues, I guess. But yeah.
It'd be better for the Sharks if they pull off a win.
Right.
But I mean, we've seen a lot of the 1
or if they
p.m.
don't
games.
have to play that 12 p.m. game.
Yeah, well, we've seen a lot of the 1 p.m. games not go their way.
Yes.
is why. So
Yes.
Manny Marquez, $1.99 in the super chat.
Thank
Sharks show complete desperation when challenged, and so far, actually, I saw a stat earlier. Peter, his name is Peter.
yeah.
Yes.
Pete DeBoer is now 5-0 in playoff, or no, 4-0
Game
in
sevens.
Game 7s with the Sharks.
That's amazing.
Stop going to Game 7, please.
No, keep going to Game 7.
Well, I
He's
guess
4-0.
I mean,
Don't test that.
I don't want it. Law of averages kicks in after a while.
You know,
You need to
again,
retire when you get that good.
any of these stats, throw them out the window. A lot of the teams that he went to those Game 7s with are different teams.
No,
right?
with the Sharks.
Yeah, I know. They're the Sharks. They're different makeups of team
Well,
for the
he's
Sharks.
won 2 this time, and then he won 2 in 2016,
Okay.
which is
The
the majority
2016
of the team
yeah.
is around.
A lot of them are, but
Right.
there's a lot of the role players that aren't there.
Right.
We didn't have Kane. We didn't have Nyquist. We didn't, right? I mean, there's a
Well,
lot
I
of guys
get it,
that
but
that
there's
contribute to
the
that
core
depth.
of people, and
We
but
didn't
still,
have Eric
we're
Carlson.
2-0 this year.
I mean,
we're 2-0 this year.
yeah, absolutely. It's great. I can't wait.
I mean, that speaks to DeBoer's coaching.
Yeah.
I think it's great. So
So we also want to know when
No argument here.
Angelo
I don't know if you're
Nunes,
looking for one, but
Angelo saying that Grandma Pavs gave us luck.
Yes.
yes,
That was pretty cool.
yes.
that.
Grandma Pavs did give us luck. I'm not sure if we
Who
actually
opened the
have
door
that
today, by the
image
way?
or not. I think super producer Jason loaded it in, but no, he didn't. That's
No.
okay. But yeah, so Grandma Pavs was on Twitter today, and she said, "Beat the Avs for Pavs." And the way it was worded, "Beat the Avs for Pavs," I was like, "Oh, he's not playing." Yeah, it's for him, not with him. For him. So I don't know. Maybe she was thinking one other way than how it turned out to be. But hey, he came in, he played great, and came out with the win. What else do you want? It's
He
great.
sparked his team to win.
She did.
Well, he did. He did by playing.
A couple people have mentioned that
Yeah.
the Sharks are now 39-0 when they're allowing 2 or fewer.
Dirty.
But one of the scarier stats, and I think we should I don't know if you guys were done recapping the game, but I do want to mention one that Stevenson brought up. So we were saying, 4-0 or 3-0, wherever it is. He also mentions DeBoer only going to the Stanley Cup Finals on his first year with the Devils and the Sharks. So that's one that's got to be broken this year.
Yeah, but the Devils. I mean, Kurz was on the show, and he talked about that team for the couple years that he was in New Jersey. He kind of got the short end of the stick because they weren't playing a lot, or a lot of their draft picks and prospects were not panning out. And it was not a good team, and they got worse and worse and worse every year he was there.
Kovalchuk left the year after they went to the finals.
Yeah.
Then Parise ended up leaving, and it just kind of went downhill, right? And then
you can't really fault him for that. That's more of a
That's a GM thing,
personnel thing.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
and Kurz had a great point. He's like, once he got fired, how many of those guys, those young guys, those prospects that finally got
Panned
the ice
out.
time even panned out?
Yeah.
None of them,
Yeah.
really. There was no gems there.
He goes, "You've never heard of them because they're terrible."
Yeah.
That was his defense on that one. So yeah. I mean, you can't really blame the coach on that one. So I mean, obviously with a quality team like the Sharks, he seems to be doing a pretty good job now. Is that his coaching style, or is that the fact that the Sharks have a good deep team and it doesn't really matter who your coach is, right? I think it's a combination, but I mean, I'm happy to have Pete DeBoer behind the bench.
We can't forget that the Sharks are only halfway to a cup right now.
No,
That's
yeah,
true.
exactly.
That's it. There's a long road to go still.
So they've only played 14 games, which is most of anybody. And again, why play 16 when you can play 28?
Yeah.
Lucas Semku mentioned something here. Great win, but I don't love the fact that we played not to lose the third period. That doesn't help you win a Stanley Cup. I think they needed a little more gas in the tank, but I think they were just focusing on D a lot more.
They were playing prevent.
Yeah, and I hate the
most part.
prevent all the time.
I do too, but I think they had a strong forecheck, and they were listening on the radio. They said that the Sharks aren't sitting back in their own zone. They were pressuring in the neutral zone. They were stopping them. They weren't coming in with speed. There weren't a lot of high danger chances that were coming in. Probably not until Grubauer was pulled, and they just sustained pressure in the offensive zone. But I thought the Sharks did a magnificent job of keeping the clock moving. That's probably the biggest key in the third period when you're up in Game 7. Keep that clock moving and don't let it slow down and let them get their game.
Catch a breath.
Yeah, from it was 9 minutes. There was a break at 9, and I was like, and I told you guys I'm gonna head over, as soon as I get a chance. And then it was like, okay, that went to 3 minutes. You guys are killing me.
Yeah.
Well, you can tell they always go to a commercial break after about the 5-minute mark, right? So 5 minutes in, 10 minutes in, 15 minutes in, unless when there's a stoppage and there's a chance. That last break didn't happen until there was 2 minutes left. I mean, that's how. So there was a huge non-stop play or icing calls because they can't go to commercial during icing calls from 10 minutes through 2 minutes. That's a long time.
Yeah.
So it just flew by. So the third period flew by.
That's what they said, because I thought it was a timeout by the Avs, and they essentially got a timeout because of that commercial break.
Yep. Yeah.
Which is fine. I mean, so does the
how it
Sharks,
works.
right?
Back when Anaheim had Pronger and Niedermeyer, they would use that to their advantage, where they would ice the puck knowing that there was a commercial break coming up.
Yeah.
And they would basically get a timeout. And it infuriated me so much because it's brilliant, but they should have made a rule, and they eventually did after this. But it was so frustrating to watch them do that.
Yeah.
I know what you're doing.
So on that comment saying that you can't win a Stanley Cup like that, I don't know that I necessarily agree. I think if you play the whole series trying to just hang on, probably the case. But in a Game 7, you're up by a goal. You've got a team that you're trying to. I mean, they talked about Goodrow and Couture kind of forechecking really well. On McKinnon there, I think is who was carrying the puck up there, and they were just all over him. So I mean, I think it's kind of natural to try to play more of a prevent style and get that puck back. And that's one of the things we talked about in terms of key for the Sharks is take care of your defensive zone first. get the puck, possess the puck, and then worry about the offense, because the offense will come. You've got a phenomenal top line. You've got phenomenal puck-moving defensemen behind the blue line there. So, I'm not sure that I 100% agree that is you're not going to win a cup that way. I think it's a great way to hold a lead, or it's a great way to attempt to hold a lead. I don't think you want to try to pinch and take those chances like we've seen Erik Karlsson, Brent Burns always kind of jumping into the play, and then all of a sudden there's a 2-on-1 break or a full-on breakaway the other direction. It's the last thing you need to do when you're up 3-2 in the game, right? So I think it's only natural for most strategies to shift to a little bit more of a prevent style. So if they were down 3-2.
Obviously,
you're not going to do it, and you're not going to win a cup doing that either, right? But I think it's situational, right? And I think in that situation, it made sense.
John Doe mentions for $1.99 in the super chat, sometimes you have to park the bus.
Yes.
I didn't hear that. Thank you for that. One more time.
Sometimes you need to park the bus. It's right
Sometimes you got to park the bus.
Oh, you're blind.
I don't have glasses.
Right.
Yeah, thank you.
Sometimes you got to put your glasses on.
All right.
No, it's a glare.
Going back to that point.
Hold on. I'm going to interrupt
Sorry.
you. I'm going to interrupt you one more time because Bear vs. Sean says, hat is purchased. Hang on, where'd it go?
Oh, thank you.
Hang on. Hat is purchased. We'll deliver a selfie with a toaster. Also, John James Peacock, I wanted to bring this up. I couldn't find it, and all of a sudden I saw it again. Can we talk about the Thornton and LeBanc bromance happening?
Thornton and LeBanc bromance.
Yes. Just I mentioned just clicking really, really well on that third line.
Yeah.
That's what
happening?
That's been going
on
for a while, right?
Yeah, these guys, along with Sorensen, really, but I mean, LeBanc and Thornton, I mean, they're a big part of what makes that third line, if you want to call it that, so deadly. I mean, Jumbo, his passing ability is insane, and you don't have to play the game fast from a foot speed perspective, right? We talked to Doug Wilson, and I encourage you to check that episode out. But Doug Wilson said, there's two ways to play the game fast. You can skate fast, and that's one way of doing it, but you can also play it fast between your ears, right? You think the game really quickly. And a veteran like Joe Thornton, who's got that playmaking ability, he thinks the game faster than pretty much anybody out there. So you see him and his ability to hit Sorensen or LeBanc on the go, and LeBanc's hands are so silky.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy, his stick handling ability is off the charts, right?
He's one of the elite
really
offensive forwards on the Sharks, and a steal in, I think, the 6th round. That's just incredible.
Yeah.
You don't find those gems in the 6th round very often.
He is phenomenal. I don't know that I would go so far to say elite, but on the team,
on the power play at least?
Yes, on the power play. Pete DeBoer said on the power play, yes, he is elite. Go ahead and check the numbers.
He's
for
on
the
the
advanced
top
stats
on
folks.
this team. LeBanc is on the top power play line.
Yeah.
That's just crazy.
Somebody mentioned they don't. Hang on, where did it go? Really? Jordan Marley. I don't see it as a bromance. I just see it as Thornton taking his kids to school. And Jennifer DeMartini says, Sheridan says, "Take care of my shark." And yes, she is still awake. Hi, Sheridan.
Hi,
It's bedtime.
Sheridan. Hi, Sheridan.
I put she donated a shark to your bobbleheads.
Is this a baby?
It's a hammerhead baby shark, I guess.
God, no, please don't. But this is
big hit in my
Sheridan,
house.
who is not your baby, but your daughter,
No, it's not
and
my
it's her
baby.
shark. So it's kind of baby shark. So there you go. Thank you, Sheridan. We appreciate it.
Does it squeak?
No, it squirts water if you fill it up with
yeah.
water, but it should be empty at this point.
Squirt.
Okay. Any other questions, or should we? You want to hit anything else up?
What I was going to say, we always talked about to win a cup, and not that the Sharks are guaranteed to win a cup or anything, but to win a cup, you need skill, you need health, and you need luck. And I think in this series, or even in this game, the luck happened to be the non-trip call from Karlsson, the goal that got called back on the offsides call, and just the luck that McKinnon got hurt, if you can call it that, in the beginning. I think that really knocked them down a notch when McKinnon was not 100%, and he missed 5 minutes in the first period. So I think that's part of the luck the Sharks got and used it to their advantage. So I think they're on their way to the next series because of luck.
Yeah, and you talk about one of the other things was health that you said in there, right? And I think we won in spite of health, because I think there's a few guys that are pretty banged up. I mean, everybody's playing banged up, but you had Pavelski was out of the lineup. Kane, there's obviously something wrong with Kane. Karlsson, for a long time there, he wasn't looking like himself. At least in that first series, he was looking, we were talking about 70%. And then when he started playing the Colorado series, the very beginning of it, he looked a whole lot better. I'd like to see him look just a little bit better after seeing him play the last game or two. So, health, I think, you need health, but when you have the depth that we have, I think you have enough healthy players on the team to kind of pick up the slack where the other guys who maybe aren't as healthy are kind of dipping a bit. So that's a really nice part of it too. I don't know if you want to add depth to your lineup of must-haves there.
Well, that goes hand in hand with the health.
Okay, good.
I think.
All right, that's fair enough.
Health and depth.
Yeah.
Corey,
so I think we won in spite of health is all I'll say. But yeah, go ahead.
Well, and you guys mentioned this. I think it might have been in the last series after the win. Like, the Avs being a faster but a less physical team, we will only get healthier as it goes on.
Yes.
Which was nice to see. Corey Kling, man, dude, it just feels like we're the team of destiny. What a game to be at. So apparently you got to go to the game tonight.
Nice.
My ears are ringing. How do you guys feel about St. Louis? Great to see Paz back. Go Sharks.
I'm not nervous or scared. I don't know if that's the right word, but I think it's going to be a good long series.
There were two teams that were left that bothered me. I'm not going to say scared either, but if I do say scared, it's a slip of the tongue, and I don't mean I'm scared, okay? I just mean they bother me.
I think they match up well.
The only two teams that bothered me were St. Louis and Boston.
Yeah.
And if we can play Boston, I'm happy because that means we're in the finals.
That means we're going to play St. Louis and beat them and then play Boston just because. Vegas and then Colorado, who ended up being very good.
Yeah, took us to 7.
I don't think a lot of people thought that. I'm not saying Sharks fans.
Not the
in general.
physical, pounding, grueling series, right?
Different type of series.
Different type of series, and that's another good point there. Actually, the Sharks can win it either which way.
Yeah,
you can play us tough and rumble, right?
And I think that St. Louis is going to be the tougher kind of
tough and rumble. I meant to say rough and tumble, but it works.
I think St. Louis series is going to be a tough series, kind of like Vegas, a heavy hitting series.
I think so too.
So it's kind of good that the Sharks played Colorado second and not first.
Yeah.
They could have played Colorado, Vegas, and then St. Louis, and they would have been really beat up going into this round.
But I feel like St. Louis isn't going to be maybe as physical as the Vegas series will be.
Right.
And I certainly don't think it's going to be as physical if we happen to get past them as Boston will be.
You also think St. Louis is going to be licking their wounds from a very tough series against Dallas.
That's true.
So they've been through just as much.
Yeah.
They went through a 7-game series that went to double overtime.
Hey, and we're sitting here skipping ahead talking about Boston, but we can't count the Hurricanes out.
Right.
Right?
So actually, Nathaniel had a question about that. Now that we're here, what are your conference final predictions? And I know Aaron's been saying basically Sharks Bruins pretty much from the beginning. Paul, are you on Sharks Bruins?
No, I was pretty much Sharks Bruins too. I think my bracket had said one of my brackets had said Sharks Bruins.
You filled out 20 brackets.
It's okay.
One of them,
but that's the one I felt made the most sense. Even with Tampa Bay, I kind of felt like
of course
Tampa
it makes
Bay
the
would
most
get taken
sense because it's the only one that's
out.
left for you.
No. I'm saying even when Tampa Bay was there, I had Tampa Bay getting bounced out and Boston advancing.
Yeah.
They're just such a heavy team. They have a lot of skill on it, and that's the problem with Boston. I think is that they're so complete all the way around. They can play you heavy, right? But they can also skate circles around you if they really wanted to. Guys like Pasternak, guys like Marchand, who I hate. They've got a lot of skill and they've got a lot of brute strength. And anytime you try to get around Chara, he's just this monster as well. There's just too many
42,
things.
He's still just dominant back there.
There's just too many things that Boston has in their favor as a very complete team.
Right.
You can't move physics. You can't change physics.
But he's old. Like he's not as I don't want to say quick-footed.
So but you guys talk about Thornton. He's old, but he's hockey smart. Chara, if he knows where to be,
it's different.
He knows where to be, though.
Defense, yeah. But you can get burned with speed because he's not so fast. But his reach is so long,
gigantic. Yeah.
I mean, we always Burns has a long reach, but Chara's is even longer, I think.
Well, and the thing is, okay, fine, you get past Chara, you still have to deal with Tuukka Rask.
Right.
They are so complete of a team, the Boston. That's why I like I said, I'm not scared, but they bother me like big time. So I'm rooting for Carolina Hurricanes to get out of this one.
Or a long series between the two of them.
Although if Carolina happens to beat Boston, that's saying something about that team.
Exactly.
And I don't know if you want.
Yeah, it's like we're scared. We don't want to face this one team. Now we got to face the team that just beat that one team. 100 AD. What do you guys think needs to be done to improve special teams going into the next series?
A healthy Pavelski, I think, is going to help you. I mean, I think most of their strategy on the power play is getting those tips. Getting Pavelski in front of the goal, getting tips from Burns or Carlson throwing the puck to the front. So I think having a healthy Pavelski is going to help that. I think the other guys need to step up, though. Hurdle needs to score some, and Couture needs to put some more away.
Well, see, and it's funny because you said special teams. I don't know, maybe you just meant power play. I think the PK is doing pretty well, right? If I'm mistaken, please correct me. But I mean, in Avs today, 0 for 3. I mean, same with the Sharks. But PK did pretty well.
They didn't lose the battle.
Yeah, and it's not like we're getting pinned. I feel like we're knocking the puck out and we're clearing the zone, right? So I think the PK is doing okay in terms of special teams, right? But if we're looking at the power play, yeah, you're absolutely right. I think something needs to be done, and you know what we say about the power play. We'd love to see Burns as the trigger man on the left-hand boards, with Carlson up at the point feeding them. Just a healthy dose of one-timers for whoever's in net, right?
I feel like they don't do any one-timers.
They don't, because they always have a guy who's right-handed on the right
Right.
side, left-hand on the left side. And it's just, there's no trigger man, right? I would love to see that. I would love to see us switch to that, but it's way too late now. We've been doing the same power play for the entire season and through the first 2 rounds of playoffs.
Yeah,
why would they change it up?
They're not
going
going to change it up.
Yeah, they're not going to change it. It is what it is. They're going to stick with it. They're going to say, let's stick with the game plan. And to some degree, I agree with that. At the same time, if it's broken, fix it. So right now it doesn't seem like it's clicking too well, but I shouldn't say that.
Tonight looked good.
It was clicking. I shouldn't
Right.
say that. The results weren't there,
Right.
but it was clicking. I've
Yeah.
seen a few. They have a couple set plays. You see that one where it goes to the left-hand side, the left-hand boards, and it goes down low, and it's usually like Pavs or someone that is down low, and he one time passes it back to like Hurdle, who's in the low slot, and then Hurdle one time. So it's like a pass that goes down low, and then like bang bang, and then it goes to
That's
the net,
kind of like
right?
Hurdle's
So-
goal tonight.
No, exactly.
It came from behind the net to him, and he shot it in.
Yeah,
Remember?
yeah.
It went down low to, who was it? It was Pavelski. It went down low to Pavelski, and he passed it to
Popped
Hurdle
it
in the
out,
slot,
yeah,
and he
yeah.
just one-timed it in.
But on the power play, it's like a one-time pass.
Right.
They do
Yeah.
it really fast, right? So, and that play seems to work out pretty well. It's a good opportunity and a good chance. Does it go in all the time? Maybe not. But it's something to look for. Again, I would much rather see Burnsy on that left-hand boards just pounding the net. Just pounding the net. I would love to see that. And you know what? You're going to create rebounds because that goal is going to be sliding because he has to be true to whoever's at the center on blue line there. So it's going to be, call it Erik Karlsson. He has to be true to him. So he's going to have to move from center to right, or to his right. Shot's going to come. He'll be sliding. You're probably going to get a rebound.
There's a reason Ovechkin has scored so many goals in that area.
Yeah.
And it is his shot, don't get me wrong,
Right.
but a lot of it has to do with the fact that it's a quick one-timer for a goaltender that's sliding and moving.
Right. I think you look at the overall power plays scored this series, and the Sharks could have used some, but didn't need them. So if I had a wish list, it would be stay strong 5-on-5 and stay disciplined so that you're not putting yourself on the kill.
Yeah.
I still think we're going to see less penalties called.
Sure.
The
As it goes?
longer it goes, like into the playoffs.
I have a question for Aaron, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Joe is one too many wants to know. He says, so this question is for Aaron. Does this Game 7 feel more like redemption when Solani missed the empty net or the open net in the 0-2-0-3 playoffs?
Kind of. Just such different teams. They had Patrick Waugh in net in that series, so it was just felt different because at that time Patrick Waugh was the elite goalie in the league. Him and Brodeur, but I think Waugh was a little bit better than Brodeur at that point. So I think I really wanted. The Sharks were such underdogs, and even with Teemu Solani on their team, and Teemu, was the guy. The reason you get Teemu is for situations like this, and he missed an open net. Like it was just so like how is that possible? How did that happen? And Teemu, he went on. He played forever. Again, he went to Colorado actually after that, and this was before the salary cap era.
Okay.
Right? And so they had Paul Kariya and Teemu Solani on the third line in Colorado. They just stacked their team, and it didn't work out. Teemu Solani and Paul Kariya played awful. They had like the worst career years they've ever had. Then they both leave and they go to Anaheim and they just surge again. So because they were the number one guys there.
Right.
So it was kind of amazing to see that, but that's completely off topic. I guess like redemption. That was 18 years ago now. So sure, I don't hate this team. Like this Colorado team, right? Like I didn't hate the Colorado team, whereas I hated that team 18 years ago because they were so good. They were like the Detroit Red Wings, and it was Detroit and Colorado.
Right.
That's when those series were they were beating the heck out of each other.
Before you go to the next one, I love that comment was aimed at Aaron because you guys know that I'm not going to remember that stuff, right? Like I am a huge Sharks fan. Don't get me wrong, but like I'm not a good history buff, right? So like I don't remember all the nuances. This guy, however,
I have a history degree.
Like I said, that head is used for more than just blinding you guys. So,
Like I said, useless knowledge that I finally get to use. My wife is so happy that I can use this stuff.
Nathaniel Arias, $1.99 in the super chat. Thank you very
you.
much. I heard the noise and I could not find it, so I had to go back and actually, came up with it.
Okay.
But he has Carolina in 6, Sharks in 6, Sharknado finals. I'm all for it.
I love that. Yeah, I
That'd
would
be
love to see the
amazing.
Sharknado final. That'd be great.
Real
You
quick,
know that's what the rally towels would be.
Yeah.
oh, there would be the advertising, the whole.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
they got to be waiting for that. But Patrick Cabral was on saying, "Can you guys plug his Xbox real quick because he's playing all by himself still."
Yes.
Yeah. Really quickly, because so that we can get back to it, but then we'll talk more about all this other stuff afterwards too. But the EA SHL, and I will do this really fast. TFF is the abbreviation for the club name. So on Xbox One, go ahead and check it out. We have a screenshot, I believe.
This is
there
from a couple
is.
days ago, so I don't know if they've played any games since then.
They may have added some more folks. But if you're on Xbox One, you want to play NHL 19, go ahead and search TFF as the abbreviation for the club. Join it. Patrick Cabral is the guy who's running it right now for us.
Maverick S117.
Yeah, so just go ahead and pop on there and play with this guy because it's kind of sad seeing there's only 3 people there.
Real quick,
Thank you
and
for that.
Charizard would like to say something.
Okay.
I have something to say.
Okay.
Let's go Sharks!
Let's go Sharks.
Gonna bring it
Nice.
back there real quick. So I personally, like I said, and I think I've said this every post game we've done. I enjoyed this series so much more. It was much more fun to watch as just a complete hockey series. Like the games were so close, except for like the shutout. Every other game was a 1 or 2 goal game, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
So it's so much more entertaining. Are we going to get that same kind of a series out of St. Louis?
Ooh.
I think it's going to be a grindier series. That's my feeling.
Yeah.
I feel like they're going to be grinding for goals, both teams. Just digging in the trenches and grinding away and trying to get something. So I don't think it'll be as up and down as this series was.
Yeah.
Even Vegas, I felt, was a little more north-south. It was harder hitting than Colorado, but the Vegas series, both those teams are just built on speed.
Yeah.
St. Louis is more, to me, they're a more balanced team like the Sharks. I think they're, this is a team that we had talked about in the beginning of the season, saying that they're going to be a top team in the West. And they were very disappointing. Again, like I said earlier, January 2nd, they were last place in the league. And they were about to blow up the team come trade deadline, and they got it together. So they started surging and winning.
Yeah.
So it's kind of amazing that they made the playoffs, for one. It's definitely amazing that they're this far in the Western Conference Finals. But if you told me in the beginning of the season that it would be Sharks Blues in the Western Conference Finals, I'd be like, oh, yeah, that totally makes sense.
Yeah.
So I just think that they are speaking of Sharks depth, I think they have the depth. And they signed some really good guys over the summer, so they're just deeper.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a little bit heavier series, but you're also talking. It's funny because you're talking about a team that also has Vladimir Tarasenko on it. He's not exactly the heavier type of player, right? This is a guy that's going to go north-south on you.
Yeah.
But he's got the hands to make you feel like you got to go east-west and then burn you.
He's an elite goal scorer.
Yeah, absolutely is.
So Bennington is the other one that kind of scares me.
Okay.
Only because he's done so well, and he's been doing it for 30, 40 games now. So it's a good sample size. It's not like 10 games of a hot goalie. So he's kind of the real deal. He's going to be around for a while. However, he hasn't really dealt with a lot of adversity. And I mentioned this, I think, in the last show. In their game 6, I believe, he took 2 penalties in the game. They were getting under his skin. So kind of like Grubauer, he took a penalty, right, in this series? Game 5, the Sharks were getting under his skin?
I don't remember that one. Was that with Jumbo?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So he didn't take the penalty. I guess it was who was it that stepped in there and took the penalty? You can say it in the comments.
Whatever, yeah.
He doesn't remember. What am I asking him?
Yeah.
Anyway, I think Bennington is a guy that you can get a lot of traffic in front of and frustrate, and you're going to see him react because he's a very young kid. So I think we can rattle him a little bit.
Well, I think the problem is getting in front of him. And the Sharks have the opportunity to do that with every goaltender they've faced, and I don't see that happening all the time. It's one of the things I've complained about a lot on this show is get in his eyes, make him move. You can't hit him in the logo and expect that the puck's going to go in, right? So one of the best ways to get that puck to tickle the twine there is to get in the goaltender's eyes. Like I said, blindfold yourself and try to catch a tennis ball that somebody throws at you. It's probably going to miss it, right? So that's one way of doing it. Yeah, it's just a matter of them having to do it.
Yeah.
And as a young guy, yeah, they need to get under his skin and get him rattled. And again, that mental game, kind of the same thing I was talking about in the Colorado series with the young defenseman, Gerard McCarr. You know, these guys are really good physically. They're really good defensemen. They can move the puck really well. They skate really well. They can handle the puck. They've got all the tools that they need. But they're only 20 years old. You got to get in their heads, right, and throw them off their game, because if the confidence level is there, they're going to execute on you. And the last thing you need to do is have young guys with fresh legs who are just giddy and ready to go, and they're confident out there. So I was saying you got to put the body on these guys, and honestly, like, I felt like there were a couple more times tonight where the Sharks were throwing the body around a little bit more than we were used to seeing in this series.
Well, they out-hit them tonight, 31-27.
There you go. So I mean,
somebody told me that's completely subjective. So
it is subjective.
It is,
but what I'm saying is, yeah, you want to get for the younger guys, you want to get in their heads. For the goaltender in Binnington, same thing. You want to get in his head. Now that doesn't mean body check the guy, right? But frustrate him, get in his eyes, right? So, or give him that extra little whack after the whistle or right before the whistle, right? So
maybe not a whack, but
no, you just
nudge him a little.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
get him off his game just a little bit. I'm never asking for injuries, okay?
Right.
But you make him a little frustrated. That's what I think that they need to do
make
for
him
the
change
younger
the
guys.
game. Make him think.
Yeah,
like that was what was it? The oh god.
For the veteran guys like Joe Thornton, again, you're not going to get under his skin, right?
Right.
For a guy, Tuukka Rask, I mean, he's been in the league for long enough. You're probably not going to get under his skin, although he's got a bit of a temper, a history of having an odd head, right? But, for these younger guys, even if they're cool, calm, and collected, they're still fairly young to the whole game. So you can get in there and you can muck them up a little bit.
Yeah. One thing I'm going to say is we're planning on doing a series recap, a recorded episode that's edited and will be out in a couple days, but we'll do a series recap of this series and a look ahead a little bit more in depth of the upcoming series against the Blues. So we'll recycle these a little bit and we'll get a little bit more information out there.
Yeah.
So be sure to subscribe to the show, and so you don't miss those videos coming out, and hopefully you can join us for that. But we will continue to do live shows after every game. Along with that,
after every playoff game.
Sorry, every playoff game. Yes, we don't do this during the regular season.
Normally during the regular season we do like a 1 week recap. So for anybody who is interested in subscribing, we're not going to hit you every single game. It's a 1 week recap.
Unfortunately, as I know a lot of people are really loving this, but we cannot physically do this after every game. Just a lot.
Yeah.
It's a big time commitment.
Yeah.
But it's playoffs.
It is definitely fun for play. It's playoff mode.
Absolutely.
Playoff modes are on here.
Playoff mode is on with the Fin Factor.
Nathaniel says the Sharks are 4-2 against the Blues all time in the playoffs, which is not these two teams.
Which is great, but throw those numbers out the window.
I would love to be able to come back in a couple weeks and say they're now 5-2, right?
Sure.
So
it's a good follow-up.
I like that.
You have to check. Do you guys keep Haley in for the next series? If it's going to be a physical series,
I think so.
That's See now the game has changed, right?
Yes.
So against Vegas, I liked seeing Haley in there. Against Colorado, didn't make as much sense because there's nobody really that you have to
Zadorov,
fight
maybe?
or stick up to or whatever. Yeah, Zadorov, sure, but I think Zadorov is more interested in playing the game than he is in dropping the mitts. But I mean, it would have been nice having Haley running around knocking those young defensemen, like I said. Don't get me wrong, but I think we proved tonight, against...
We're happy Donskoy was in.
No, exactly. Against a team like Colorado, sure, maybe it makes more sense to go with that skill and not worry about banging the body. Against a team like St. Louis, though, they're heavier. I think maybe you do put Haley in. Now, will DeBoer do that? Probably not. I mean, Donskoy just put up a goal from the fourth line, so he's probably going to stick with them and see where that goes. But I wouldn't be surprised to see Haley back in the fold, and you're going to see everybody online, of course, saying, "Oh my God, why are you putting Haley in? Donskoy scored a goal. Donskoy is better," and blah 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 blah. But is what it is.
Tell you what, Donskoy's not going to score a goal in every game that he plays in.
No. He only needs to score apparently one-on-one shots. That's all he's got to do.
But he hasn't scored in 35 plus games, right?
I forget. Yeah. So
next question.
Yeah.
Next question. How do you guys pronounce the Pokemon that has the red fiery tail? Because I pronounced it wrong and got railed for a few minutes.
I don't Pokemon.
It's Charizard or Charizard. I don't know. I'm not going to say it right this time either, and people made fun of me. So
why is that even a question?
Well, because that's the guy's name, and I screwed it up.
Okay.
So.
What was the question from the guy?
No, at the time it was he was the one who wanted to say something. Go Sharks.
Oh, okay, got it.
Manny Marquez, and I like I said, I replied with
full circle now.
You know,
Right,
I can't speak, I can't type. I'm just here to look good on camera. So.
Awesome. Doing great.
And that's why I took the camera away. Manny Marquez, who are the standouts for the Blues? And I think, you guys may have just gone through this, but besides Tarasenko, Pietrangelo, Maroon, and Riley.
Shen, right?
Rask, right? I mean,
Bennington.
I'm sorry. I
Rask is
skipped right past that.
That's okay.
I told you, I'm not here to...
Bennington, I think their goalie is... They have key elite guys in key positions. I think Pietrangelo started the year off awful and has resurged and been very good. I'm going to have to look at their roster, but all the guys you named, O'Reilly, centering basically like the second line.
Yeah, and we'll probably be talking about this in the next episode that we shoot as well.
Shen, Tarasenko. But, I mean, Tarasenko is, to me, is going to be like the McKinnon type.
Yeah.
Not the same type of player, but you control Tarasenko, you're going to be able to control the Blues for the most part. It doesn't mean you're guaranteed to win, but you're going to do better if you control him. So I bet you that's the line that Vlasic is going to be paired up against in the home games.
Yeah.
And then Couture is probably going to be tasked with shutting down the O'Reilly line.
Yeah, I think this is going to be the series where our depth is tested most, right? I think depth has been kind of an advantage, if you will, throughout the first two series there, and I think St. Louis is deep enough of a team that we're going to get it tested now, as opposed to it being just kind of a bonus that we've got. You can throw any one of those three lines out there, and it's going to do fairly well. Now it's going to be, okay, you've got your matchups that are set, and you now have to outplay that line more so. It's not that you're just going to be put out and you're better than that line. Now you have to outplay these guys. So this is going to be, I think, our biggest test, and obviously the farther it goes, the bigger the test is. But yeah, St. Louis, again, a very complete team. I remember you had talked about them being a very deep team as well from the very beginning of the season. Didn't pan out right away, but as the season progressed, they're here. They're ready to play.
I think the key is going to be for the Sharks is to get that third line of Thornton, Sorensen, and LeBanc getting going again, because they haven't really done a lot this series compared to the Vegas series. I think if they get that line rolling, the Sharks are going to be in good shape because they can outplay that third line of St. Louis.
Yeah, and see, again, this goes back to a previous point that I had where, if you've got a certain guy, like we were talking about Erik Karlsson, who wasn't going, right? You got Bernsey who's going. You got Vlasic who's going. If in this case it's a line, if the jumbo line isn't really clicking or they're not producing or whatever else, we still got two top six scoring lines that are going to get it done, or that have the ability to get it done. So anytime even a string of guys, a whole line is just having an off night or something like that, you've got enough depth that somebody else should be able to put the puck in the net, and you're not relying on any one line a la McKinnon. Right?
Did you guys mention Jaden Schwartz?
Yes, Schwartz.
Okay. I wasn't listening. I wasn't paying
That's
attention.
another one.
Yeah, no, he's solid. Yeah.
All right. Just
Perron is back there, I believe.
Oh yeah, that's
David
right.
Perron is back in St. Louis. Who's
Yeah.
kind of like their third line.
We've rattled off enough names there on St. Louis that they're
who
good
are some
enough team in
standouts
terms
the
of depth.
entire team?
Yeah, no, they're a good.
Who are not some standouts?
I don't know because they don't stand out.
There you go.
There you go.
Nathaniel Arias, is Kane hurt, or is the Avs weren't
Yes.
just playing all physical? And I think actually somebody else mentioned hopefully Kane will be a lot more physical once it comes to the next series.
Yeah.
Hopefully whatever he's dealing with, will be gone. Hopefully.
Hopefully. No, I'm convinced. I think he's dealing with an injury, not just in what we've seen from him in terms of play, but his history, right? He seems to get banged up quite a bit. I remember you saying that too. And then even just last year, he had his shoulder injury. It just doesn't feel like he's out there throwing it as hard as we've seen him, even in just the Vegas series. But especially in the regular season, we've seen him play a lot more physical. I don't think he's taken nearly as many penalties, though.
In the last couple games.
Yeah.
I think earlier in the series he was.
Okay.
Yeah. He was taking some, I think we mentioned it in game 4 or 5, he was taking some dumb penalties.
Oh, okay.
But lately he's been good and staying out of the box, at least in that part. But, I mean, he did get an assist tonight, so that'll get him going a little bit at some points. Secondary assist.
Secondary assist, yeah.
Whatever. They don't ask how.
You
Just
got
how
it.
many.
You got it.
So,
No, I like that. But like I was saying with the goal that I think Nyquist gave it to Hurdle, and then it was just like, here, go. And then Hurdle does all the work and somebody else scores. And it was just
yeah.
oh, it was Pickles. Pickles scored.
You're right.
But it was like Nyquist gave the puck to Hurdle and was like, yeah, you go ahead.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, he gets an assist, but did he do anything?
Right.
Nah, not really. That's okay. Anyway.
You want to go into roll call right now?
Yeah, well, they called for it earlier, but I know we want to make sure.
Yeah.
So we still have 160 people on.
Nice.
Which is amazing considering we are now at our 70-minute mark.
Let me just say one thing real quick for the lives that we're doing here. We wanted to kind of stick to talking hockey and the game and the series and stats and all that stuff. We would kind of want to stick to that throughout the more of the beginning of it, just because we feel more people are tuning in looking for that information as opposed to looking for pictures of toasters and EASHL and the roll call and all that stuff. Yeah, go ahead, throw it on the screen. Why not? There it is again. Bam, me with a toaster. Okay, so anyway, I think that, most people are here looking for that type of information, which is great, and we're here to kind of provide that. So once we kind of get a lot of that stuff out of our system, then cool. We'll open up and talk.
What
some
we're
more
gonna
stuff.
do for roll calls, I don't have my computer, so I'm not gonna ramble them off. But we'll put you up for about 5 seconds on the screen so we can do roll call. So tell us where you're watching from and how you found us. We like to highlight those, and we'll highlight a few of them as they come in. But
and go ahead and put that little 3-letter abbreviation for which team you kind of follow or are going with, and
sure.
That way people know, how many folks are here from Colorado, for instance, or looking for Colorado or whatever. So, yeah. Any fans from St. Louis, by the way, if you guys are tuning in, kind of just, hey, we're going to play you guys.
I thought there was the one earlier who said they were the only fan out there in St. Louis.
Oh, I thought that was Louisiana.
I thought you said Philly.
Yep, nope, you're right. You're right.
Louisiana.
See, there's the memory again. I don't even remember what I said, and I was the one who said it.
Jeez.
Speaking of saying things, Psyduck has another thing to say.
Speaking
Let's go
saying
Sharks.
Things? Go ahead. What?
No, I just Psyduck. I got another thing to say. Let's go Sharks. # Shark Tank.
All right, cool.
I saw Stevenson Need come up. San Francisco. Fin Factor makes my body tingle.
You got it.
We got Portland. All right. Any other questions streaming in?
So did you guys show replay? No, we didn't show replay of the disallowed goal.
We don't have the rights to show any sort of video or anything. So, and anybody who does either has the rights or is in violation.
Right.
So, we're not going to be in violation. So,
but yeah,
we could talk about it.
I'm sure we'll talk about it. Yeah.
Gabriel Landeskog was coming off the ice. The puck got cleared out, and as he was skating off the ice, the door was opening for him to go off, and he's on the Sharks' defensive zone, so he's in the offside position. He's like, if you watch the replay, he's standing there for a good 5 count, with not moving, just kind of doing something. Avalanche come in the zone on the other side and go down, and they end up, it's a 2-on-1, and they score a goal, and that tied it up 2-2. And DeBoer immediately flagged it and challenged it, and so he challenges almost everything anyway, but he did it so quickly that I was like, okay, they obviously saw something. And I was watching at home at this point, and I was like, and they were showing the replay, and I go, oh, right away I'm tweeting, because there's a lot of people at the arena. They weren't showing the people who were at the game, they weren't showing the replay, so they had no idea what was going on or what they were reviewing for, and so I was tweeting it out, and a lot of people were thankful for seeing that. So but I wrote, like, when I saw it, I was like, oh, that's easily not a goal. Easily. Like, it's clear as day that he's just standing there in the offside position, and it wasn't even close, like where the puck was maybe entering and he stepped up at the same time. No, it was the puck was in the zone, the other 2 guys entered in, and then he came off the ice. Like, it wasn't even that close. The only question was if he had touched the blue line.
If he touched the blue line.
Because if he skated over and touched the blue line, which is only about another foot away from the door, then it would have been onside.
Yeah. No, and the funny thing was, like, when he called it right away, and I'm going, okay, he's pretty confident in it. And they're like, okay, let's see the replay, and we showed the replay, and I'm like, there's nobody offside. What's going on?
They were showing the players.
They showed the players that were like right there, and like, I don't know what even the announcers are going. I'm not sure what he sees. It looks fine there, and then they show a different angle. Like, oh, that guy, way in the other side,
But it wasn't even close.
Yeah.
And then I was getting nervous because they were taking forever to review it, and I go, oh, great.
Like we said, the longer they take to review, the closer it is to inconclusive, and then the call on the ice stands. Anyway, Joe's flagging me down. What's going on?
I guess Bednar got a couple questions about that after the game, but he replied with, I'm not going to talk about the officiating or this and that, he said, via CBS Denver. Our season's over, so it's tough that we set high expectations for ourselves and we came up a little bit short. And that's classy. If this was, who's this guy, the thumbs up guy? Gallant would have just been rallying that they needed to replay the game.
I can't imagine any Colorado fans or Colorado fans that would be upset with what happened. They went to Game 7 of the conference semifinals, which is amazing because I would say at the beginning of the season, most people didn't even pick them to really make the playoffs, I think. And I think they kind of surged towards the end to make the playoffs because they weren't in that wild card spot for a long time. They didn't hold it for a long time. So I think they had a great season. I think they can build on that. We know those players are going to be superstars on the back end. So they're only going to get better. They're gaining a 4th overall pick. You go to almost the conference finals and you get a 4th overall pick in the next draft is kind of ridiculous.
Thanks, Ottawa.
That's a player that is most likely going to get injected into the lineup next season. So you're instantly getting better. And they have a lot of young guys, and I think someone mentioned, maybe it was Nathaniel, saying that their salary cap is one of the lowest in the league, so they can add more players. Yeah. So they're in very good shape. They should be very happy. And unfortunately for the Sharks, they're going to be around a long time. Probably the next at least 5 to 6 years, they're going to be a team that's going to be making the playoffs every year. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Sharks see them in the playoffs, assuming the Sharks make playoffs in the next 5-6 years. We'll probably see them again, and maybe that's when we start that rivalry up again, where we start hating them.
Yeah. No, I think, for Colorado fans, again, it's kind of the same thing I said to the Vegas fans. Hold your heads high. I mean, you guys got bounced, but you know what? Like, 30 teams are not going to win Stanley Cup this year. Okay, it's just because you have a high expectation of your team. Look, everybody's got a high expectation of their team. Even I said, look, if they don't make the Stanley Cup Finals this year, the Sharks, it's a disappointment to me. The way that this team is structured, the names that we have on this team, the way that I know they can play, if they don't make it to the Stanley Cup Finals, I'm disappointed in this team, right? I'm not sure if that's really fair to put on them, but again, the way that the team's built, I think it is. So for a team like Colorado, not that you guys are inferior or anything like that, but for a team like Colorado to say, they were like a wild card team, for them to take it to the second round and go to Game 7. I mean, technically, you didn't make it halfway to winning a cup, but you got as far as you can possibly get, and you still only lost by a goal, right? So I mean, this whole series, really, this was a tough, hard-fought series. This was not a walk in the park for the San Jose Sharks to take this series. So, yeah, you're absolutely right. They have a really bright future. They've got 2 extremely young, extremely talented defensemen that are going to be playing, probably starting right out of the gate, obviously, if they're playing this well in the playoffs. And then you've got your 4th overall pick, who might be a guy that comes in, and you've still got McKinnon, Rantanen, Landeskog, all fairly young, right? So there's a whole lot of good going on in Colorado right now. I would not be disappointed with the way that your team battled and played. Because everybody had you guys written up as a one-line team, and that's it. And we saw what that one line can do. It can carry you through at least half of a series against a very talented, very deep San Jose Sharks team. So, hold your heads high, man.
Colorado's leaving the playoffs with a winning record, 7-5.
That's amazing.
Because they won 5-1, or 4-1 in 5 games. So they're 4-1 and then 3-4.
Yeah, wow, I didn't put that together. That's amazing,
And think about that, too. They came in to play Calgary Game 1. Calgary beats them, what was it, 4-0, something like that? 4-0. Everyone's like, here we go. Calgary's just going to take them out. And Avs are like,
they came back. And
but we're the Avalanche. We don't need to listen to what anybody else says. They're young. That's the thing. Is like they don't have previous experiences to make them doubt themselves.
Yeah, it's the same as Columbus. They went down 3-0 in the first period of Game 1.
Well, that was all Bobrovsky, though.
Well, I mean, look, for a team that squeaked into the playoffs, took out the number 1 seed, right, and then lost out to the number 2 seed, there's nothing to hang your head about, man. Like this, I'm not sure how high your expectations were, but I mean, for me, that's for Colorado, that would be exceeding the expectation for me. But again, hold your head high, man. They're a great team. They fought well, they battled hard. And if there could be 31 Stanley Cups in a year, it'd be a different story. But only one team gets to win it. Sometimes a really good team just gets bounced out, and that's just what happened.
Yep.
I mean, you think Tampa Bay's fans are upset? Right? Did better than them, so
that
what?
I mean, actually, no. I was just said that is incredible. But again, this is the first year in NHL history that both number 1 teams got knocked out by a wild card, essentially,
and one Game 1 between the 2 teams.
And first time the President's Cup winner didn't even record a win.
Yeah.
So it has been
embarrassing, man.
It has been,
that's really embarrassing.
I'm so glad the Sharks are where they are now because we almost lost the first round. Like, I'm so glad that. We're in the
Oh yeah,
conference
that's right.
finals.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, I mean everything that's gone on this entire
It seems
postseason
like forever
for
now,
all the
right?
teams like
Yeah.
is incredible. You know.
Yeah. It's a weird, wonky playoffs. It really is. When you think
Just
about
a lot
the
of upsets.
Yeah, it's well, and the funny thing is, again, that article with Pierre saying, "Hey, let's not use the
Yeah.
word upset anymore. Let's not use the word underdog." And it's like, well, no, it can still be an upset if you're expecting that the President Trophy winning team, who has more points than anybody in the past, I don't know, decade or whatever it was,
Yeah.
is going to get swept. Yeah, that's an upset.
That's definitely an upset. I
mean,
think
come
not
on.
even definitely. I mean, obviously not getting the first round.
Yeah.
I think it would have been an upset if they didn't even get to the conference finals.
Yeah.
When you knock out something like 31,980 brackets, that's an upset.
Yeah.
Lahana
For sure.
Divers 13. Thank you very much for the $1.99 in the super chat.
Oh.
Awesome teal sweaters behind you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. That is. Oh, they're usually the other way around.
Yeah.
That's the Ulf Dahlin jersey. That was my first favorite player of the
There
Sharks.
you go.
And this one's just a blank teal jersey.
Is that super producer Jason's, I believe?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's at home.
Yeah, we wanted to pop the teal color on the set because of the last couple weeks.
Very, very black, very dark.
Yeah, it's very dark.
I mean, we got the playoff mode going, which is amazing. But I
Yeah.
do, like the guy, like I said, like the
We
guy
put
said, on game
El
days you wear
Capitan
teal.
front and center there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
on
gonna
game
reach-
days we wear teal.
I'm going to reach over here real quick and grab these other ones.
Jordan Marley, thoughts on this series versus the Vegas series? I thought, personally, much more enjoyable series to watch this one. As far as like historic events and whatnot, Vegas hands down. I mean, you
Yeah.
come
No.
back from a 3-1 deficit, you come back from 3-0.
I think
I mean, just
They're
put
salty, though.
that 5-minute major in the very first game on the first shift, and it still is one time in 8,448 of 2 times that it's ever happened.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
think
being able
about
to watch that is crazy.
that series, the Sharks went down 3-1. In game 5, they go to overtime. No, game 6 they go to overtime, and they
Double.
wid it shorthanded.
Double overtime.
Double overtime, they win it shorthanded. They should have lost that game. They
Yeah.
were on the penalty kill. What was it? Gaudreau got that penalty, and you're like, that's it. They're done.
Yeah.
Sharks are done. This is going to be the end of the season. And they come back and score a shorthanded goal. Then they go to game 7. They go to another overtime. You're like, oh, hey, this is it. Sharks are going to be done. And they win. I mean, it was so nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
There were 2 overtime games and one that went to double overtime. That's 3 overtime periods, right? Then you go to this series, there's 1 overtime game, and it lasted for 2 minutes. Like, it was so fast that it was just like, wasn't a big deal. We lost. So I think that was a big difference. It was never Game 7 was the only time that the series was on the line for the Sharks in
Yeah.
this series.
Yeah.
Whereas that one, there were 3 elimination
Since game
games.
5.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think that was a big difference maker. Your heart didn't, not that it wasn't scary, but your heart wasn't as pounding as much as it was against the Vegas series.
Yeah, see, and you still have Vegas fans who are upset about it, right? Saying that the Sharks were handed the series, and I'm going, no. In game 2, when there was a goal that was called back, that actually affected the scoreboard, right? The decision by the referee actually took a goal off the board.
Right,
Yes.
and not like tonight where it was an actual offsides. That was literally,
Yeah,
Fleury was out of the crease, was not interfered with,
right.
and they took a goal away.
Exactly.
And then awarded a penalty.
Right. So that
If
that
anything,
changes things,
yeah.
right? Now, the whole 5-minute major thing, they handed them a series. The Sharks still have to go out there and score 4 goals.
Yep.
You still had to have an epic collapse. Not you, obviously, but like the
I-
Golden Knights had to
blaming our
have an
fans.
epic collapse.
I still blame Shea Theodore for
Oh,
both
sure.
overtime
Yeah,
goals.
yeah.
In game. If you want to scapegoat, blame Shea Theodore. Go
That
back and look at those
weak-
overtime. Both of them.
that weak sauce, barely leaning on Hurdle with his stick, not even in.
That was game 6, and then
kidding
game
me?
7, he's
Yeah.
coasting. He's not even skating or moving his skates.
Yeah.
And Gaudreau, of all people,
McNabb got torched too.
right? But
Yeah.
there was nobody
He was
behind
trying,
him. It
though.
wasn't
Yeah,
like
yeah.
he was guarding anybody, and he
Yeah.
could have cut him off, and Gaudreau would have just circled around the net instead.
Yeah.
And I blame Shea Theodore. Still, former Anaheim Duck. So
Yeah,
that.
there you go.
Zinksy, quick question
Yeah.
about the jerseys.
Red.
How come they don't wear the black one at home? Is there a rule or something? Carolina's wearing black jerseys.
No, I don't think it was a rule. I think the Sharks got to decide what they wanted to wear, and
They were allowed to
decided
pick 2, right?
teal instead of black.
I think you can't switch your
right,
color once
but
you
you
start,
had
right?
you had to choose.
Yeah.
There's
before
no
the
there's no
season
alternate in the postseason, essentially.
Right, because if they wore an alternate jersey, you would need, what was it? Oh, maybe not. I was thinking you need the other team to bring their other jersey, but they don't.
No, see, and this is why I'm okay with alternate jerseys being and the home jerseys being the darks, because unless you, this is exactly why, because if you want to wear your third jersey,
But you can't.
you
so-
wear it in front of your home crowd. You're not going to wear your third jersey on the road, right?
I don't care.
You wear your third jersey at home. Why? Because then your fans see it and they buy it. So it makes sense to me that the home jersey is dark. So if you wanted to wear your black ones, the black armor or the stealth or whatever it is at the time, right? You can wear those, and you have to use those throughout the playoffs or throughout the round. I'm not sure what the rule is exactly, but you have to use those ones. So if there was a third jersey that was black or whatever, and we had whites as the home jerseys, then you could only be able to wear those ones on the road, which you're not going to have much sales by wearing those in front of away fans. So
Right.
Are you guys either you Manny Marquez wondering, are either of you going to game one?
Marshall just texted me asking me which game,
Oh yeah,
so I might. We'll see.
I don't think so, but I don't know.
We'll
I might.
see.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's always kind of it's not really planned that far in advance, unfortunately, for either of us.
Yeah,
But if we are, we'll let you guys know.
sure, why not?
I'm sure people will want to meet up or something if they're going to the game.
Yeah, no, that'd be great. Actually, that's another good point. If you guys are local and you want to meet up with us, if we're going to a game or something like that, then be sure to reach out. Let us know. Let us know what section or whatever you're seated in, and we'll kind of meet up outside of one of the sections sometime, or so that'd be great. Yeah, I mean, assuming we're going, but
Right.
yeah.
Can you bring a toaster inside the arena to
I
take
don't think
pictures,
you
or?
can. I'm not sure.
So somebody asked earlier, I think it was Nathaniel, said to tell the Jones stick story, but we also have another stick on the set right now.
I would rather tell the other stick story.
Let's tell the other story.
Yeah, it's right there.
Oh.
You gotta
How
have-
about that?
Yeah, well done. So, Super Key Grip Joe, it was his birthday a while back in March, I guess, and
Is it on?
I don't think I had it signed by him though. So it says Donskoy right
I think
there.
you just got it.
There you
No, he handed him.
Yeah, it says Donskoy on there. You can see it. Yeah. So, I told him, it's my my buddy's birthday, and he's a big fan, and is it possible I could get one of your sticks? And he goes, oh, I just gave a stick to this little girl that was over there. I'm like, oh, hey, no problem, no worries. He's like, yeah, okay, cool. And then the next practice, I saw him again, and I was like, hey, and he didn't give the stick to anybody else. I knew better than to ask him a second time if he gave it to someone else. But I was like, hey, it's my buddy's birthday. Remember I came the other day? He goes, oh yeah. He goes, hold on. So he runs off, comes back, gives me the stick. I'm like, oh, cool, thanks, man, appreciate it. Really super cool guy, by the way. He's one of those guys that not all the time, but if you're looking for a stick from a practice, he's a pretty good bet, I would say. So yeah, he gave me the stick, and I gave it to Super Key Group Joe as a birthday present because it's one of his more favorite players.
I enjoy his effort when he's out there.
Yeah,
and,
he does.
He looks like he's like Scotty Nickel back in the day.
Yeah,
he is out there. He's not the best player out there, but he is gonna give you his best when he's out there.
He'll give you his best effort every time. Yeah. So now the reason I took this stick out instead of the Martin Jones stick was because Donnie got the goal today, right? Mm-hmm. So then it turned out to be the game winner. So
like I said, as soon as it went up 3-1, I picked the stick up. I'm like, put it in my car right now.
Nice. So yeah, no, there's no motivational speech behind it, really. I mean, there's no, but it was just kind of cool that I gave him the stick as a birthday present for Joe, and that's the guy that gets us out of the series.
Cool story.
From the fourth line.
Yeah, cool story, bro.
Not bad. How about your birthday? I don't know.
Hurdle stick.
Maybe I'll see if I can
You
get
want
down.
hurdle stick?
Hurdles?
Super producer Jason just asked for a hurdle stick on his birthday.
So yeah, cool stuff. Yeah. Anyway. Anything else?
Is the Smith photo behind it?
No,
We moved it around. So we moved the set around. Black and Azul recorded before us. So if you are a San Jose Earthquakes fan, we encourage you to check out the Black and Azul show. We're using the same set and kind of the same format. Paul and I are not the hosts, thankfully, because we don't know as much about Earthquakes as we do about the Sharks. But Charles and Joel do a phenomenal job. So I encourage you to check that out, Black and Azul. And Paul's got some extra pucks here.
Yeah,
I'd like to roll around.
Yeah, they're rolling
You
all
have
over
to
the place.
kinda-
I'm using Baby Shark here to block it from rolling. But oh yeah, there you go. Good, nice job.
Thanks.
So you got the Erik Karlsson, the Bernsey, and the Kane. These pucks here. I just want to let you guys know. And another reason for you guys to subscribe to the show is that we'll be telling you guys when we're going to be doing some of these giveaways.
Well, we said at the end of the series, right? We're going to do some giveaways.
We'll do something, yeah.
So maybe after we'll do it during our episode.
During
so
our
that
live.
way it's not during the live. No, the
sorry.
recorded one.
Yeah.
So we're going to do a series recap and a series recap of the Colorado series, and then the St. Louis
like
Blues preview, and we'll do a giveaway during that. So we need to figure out what we're doing.
Yeah.
So be sure to check out that episode, and you'll figure out how you can win a chance to maybe some of these pucks, maybe some of the shirts, maybe some of the other stuff that we got, the playoff mode, the socks.
I was saying the socks are mine, but I think it's okay. I think we'll put those ones up for you guys potentially.
There's a beanie, a hat, socks, can cooler. We got these awesome shirts and the pucks, and
then the kind of coup de grace, I think, is what it'll end up being is this puck here. So this is it's a half and half puck, right? This side is 500 goals from Patrick Marleau, and the other side is 1,000 assists from Joe Thornton. But I got him to sign it, so that we're gonna end up giving this one away too. And this was a puck that was given to us by Hero from the Sharks Reddit Discord. It did not have the signature on it when he gave it to me. I got the signature, and I just gonna hold true to us giving it away. So I better not see it on eBay.
That's a future Hall of Famer right there. Yeah, no eBay, please.
Anyway, so if you're subscribed to us, if you follow us on social, so Twitter and Facebook is @TheFinFactor, Instagram is @FinFactor. I'm sure we'll put up, what we're doing or how we're gonna do any of these giveaways up on any of those socials or during one of the shows. So I would subscribe and pay attention to all that stuff so that you can win some of this stuff. So there you go.
know what? I would say I just hope that we don't give away that stuff for a very long time.
Yeah. It takes a while for us to give it away.
No, I'm saying if you guys aren't going to give it away until after the Sharks are out of the playoffs, then I hope it's the longest.
Well, right, but we're going to do some of this giveaway stuff. We're going to do some of it just, in a few days, probably, right?
Yeah, next couple days.
Yeah.
True.
There you go. Speaking of giveaways and stuff, do we want to retract the Xbox?
Oh, somebody just asked about that, and I said you guys might be waiting a little while longer, but
I think we could do it now.
Yeah.
If anyone plays Xbox One and does not have
NHL 19. Then
I gotta bring my chart again.
Joe's gonna have to write these down. So we'll give them about, let's say, 10 minutes, and we can talk about the EASHL team and some other things.
Sure.
And then at the end of that, we will pick a winner. How about that? So
I'm good with
that.
So if you have Xbox One but you do not have NHL 19, but you would like to have NHL 19, go ahead and put your name down and put what is it, hashtag XB1 or
XB1?
Just put XB1. Or Xbox One, whatever. Joe will get it, and we'll put your name down in a little chart, and then he'll go ahead and randomize and pick a winner.
It's a digital key, so you'll get it tonight, and we'll have you email the show afterwards, and we'll send it back to you.
Yep.
Cool.
That's basically it.
So the EASHL teams. We have one for Xbox and one for PlayStation. We are all on PlayStation. Paul, myself, and Joe. And we all play, and we're in the league. So if you want to play with us, we're in there. I also have a Twitch channel, The Fin Factor. You can just search The Fin Factor and find it. I think it's twitch.tv/TheFinFactor. You can watch us if you want to watch us. So if you go to it, some of it's recorded. So far, it's only been one night. I recorded a couple of weeks ago, or a couple of days ago.
Nothing real fancy going on there, but if you want to watch us, it's totally cool. I guess.
So I know we have a bunch of people that are on the show that like to or that play with us and stuff.
Yeah. So the thing with the club is that we're actually kind of full. I think we might have one slot available, but we've also got on PlayStation. On Xbox One,
there's plenty of room.
On Xbox One, it's wide open and it's public. On PlayStation, it's private, and I've only got maybe a slot. I don't know. And then there's a few guys that have 0 games played, or maybe 1 or 2 games played that have been there for a very long time, but haven't really been playing. So if you want on the team, totally fine, and I can get you on there. But if you're not playing at all, then I kind of have to kick you off so that other people that want to play can play.
Yeah, I'm probably going to get kicked at some point.
Yeah, Joe might get the
I got like 2 games so far. So.
I thought you had more than 2.
No, well, I've played 3s with Paul, and I've been in there for other stuff, but it's the 6s I don't get in there for enough.
Yeah. So, we're happy to play with you guys. It'd be fun, but it might be it might be good for you guys to check the, well, on PlayStation they have the community thing. Go ahead and go on community and search for the Fin Factor, not TFF, but the Fin Factor, and the community will show up. Join on that one, and then use that to kind of coordinate with everybody and see when you can pop on at the same time. You guys can kind of coordinate and play, because again, if I know you might want to play, but if no one's there kind of playing with you, then I kind of have to kick you. Yeah. So yeah, do the best you can with coordinating.
We generally are on later at night.
I am.
Oh,
I haven't seen you.
Whatever.
About to kick
anyway,
this
we're
guy
on later.
too.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the boot. I got 11 games played.
It's the perks of being the GM. Boot whoever I want. But yeah, no. If you'd like to, go ahead and put it on there. Oh yeah, this is old news here, but go ahead. This is an older one, but yeah, I played a few more since then.
Yeah.
I don't think
Any more points?
Yeah, I got some more points.
No, I don't think I've played since this screenshot.
Oh, okay.
Just been.
As far as NHL 20, we have not gotten any codes for that yet. It comes out when? I don't even know.
It's usually September.
That's
right?
like after NHL awards and everything too. Yeah,
no, it's usually before the season start. The next season starts.
But they have to announce, like they usually do in Vegas, the NHL awards. They announce who the cover, who won the cover.
Right, but the actual game doesn't come out until September.
Yeah. So
I'll work on hopefully getting some codes for that for more giveaways of NHL 20. But we won't have that until much later.
Yeah, and whatever we do get for code giveaways, we're probably going to subtract 3 from that number, because. Who would you like to see on the cover of NHL 20?
Isn't it a curse?
It's a good one.
Yes, Bobrovsky.
Why? Because you want to get him cursed?
Jones.
No, not Jones.
I mean, I would love to see Jumbo. If we win it all, I'd love to see Jumbo on there,
It's going to be a younger guy.
Yeah, I know, but still, I would. Who do I want to see? I don't care what everybody else wants.
Maybe Hughes.
Hughes.
He's going to be like the number one pick.
I want to see Gallant. Big thumbs up. Right on the front, like, yes, thank you for buying this game.
Nice. That's great.
People mock up covers all the time too.
Yeah.
That'd be a good one.
Cool. Are we good? Anything else? Any of the comments or questions or anything else?
Did you guys mention the Twitch channel and all the Xbox, PlayStation stuff like that? It's as family friendly as we can control it, but it's not very.
Yeah. So
I forgot about that part.
Don't expect that it will be family friendly. That's the thing, because we can't control what other people say, and we kind of let loose a little bit more on there as well. For this show, we absolutely keep it family friendly, but I guess we're using a different.
I marked it as mature on Twitch.
Good.
Just in case. I mean, not that we plan to be, but again, you can't control it.
Yeah, the idea isn't that, hey, we're just going to be over there just swearing up a storm, but it's like something might slip and might come out, so we just mark it as mature just so we don't get called out for it. So, cool.
All right, we ready? You guys want to? I think I got everyone in the channel.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll do the giveaway. How many do we have in the channel still watching, by the way?
There are 135.
Wow. Excellent. Hey, you know what? Thanks, guys, so much. I know we had, it was like 80-something that were waiting before the show even started. Yeah. I'm not sure what our peak was, but we're at 130-something now. I mean,
that's close. It was like, I want to say like 175. I'm sure Jason's got a better number than I do.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard comments before about, I love the community. And talking about the Fin Factor and the show and the people that are in the comments and everything.
I think we built a good community with all the people joining us a lot.
I really do.
We have a lot of return people.
Yeah.
Which is cool. It's really cool to see and feel like we're part of, like, we're all big friends.
Yeah. And again, that's the whole point of all this, is that it's supposed to feel like you're just sitting down with your buddy and chatting about the Sharks. And I think we've accomplished that, so I'm happy with that. Why are you laughing?
No, well, so John Doe haven't mentioned the podcast or the streams yet, but before you go to that, Lundy87, you guys, you two should be on the cover of the NHL 20.
Oh,
that would sell what? 3
that
copies?
Would be okay, but then everybody trying to buy it would be blinded. They wouldn't be able to see that it says 20
shiny
on there, so
right, and they would forget what they bought.
They'd be like, "What's that game?" Oh, but anyway, yeah, no, okay, so the pods. We are available on Spotify, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Google, TuneIn Radio, as well as Apple Podcasts, right?
And Google.
I said Google. I just made a gigantic Google. Anyway.
Oh, yeah, and Joe's went to mention that you guys would have to have toasters on the cover.
Oh, yeah. That'd be good.
Toasters of skates.
Yeah.
All right, so we do have a winner, though. I created my little randomizer sheet, and I refreshed.
That was fast. How many entries do we have?
This time there was a total of, now it's going to be long,
2.
7.
Okay.
7 people entered that I saw.
Wow.
I hopefully I got everyone in here.
Okay.
But it is now. Voting is closed. Ballots are in, et cetera, et cetera.
And we have a graphic.
And Super Producer Jason has a graphic of.
Right.
I don't know. Did you put it up yet?
Ryan Sontag.
There you go.
Ryan Sontag, the winner of the Xbox One code.
Excellent.
There
Congratulations.
you go. Congrats, buddy. So go ahead and get that email to us so that we can get it to you.
Email is thefinfactor@gmail.com.
Yeah.
And,
Or YouTube message.
or YouTube
Do a
message.
I think
YouTube
actually
message,
YouTube message
'cause
would
that's
be
easier
better.
to
That way
confirm.
we know that it's you for sure,
Sure.
right? Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, let's do that. And then we'll go ahead and get it back to you. Install that thing as soon as possible because it's going to take a while to download. And make sure that you join the Fin Factor Club. TFF as the abbreviation. Okay?
And I think Patrick already left. Do you guys anyone know his name again?
This is Maverick.
No, if you just search TFF, you'll
He'll
get the
be
Fin
in there.
Factor.
You'll
Yeah.
find him in
All
there.
right, there you go.
And it should be public, so you should be able to just get right in. Cool.
Just don't change his jerseys.
Yeah, don't change the jerseys. I don't know how that happened. I'm the only GM, right? So.
User error.
Did it? Hold on.
Whatever.
Did I mess up the name? Everyone's telling me it's Ryan Sunday. I don't know.
What?
I'm lying here. I don't know.
What?
Sunday?
People are probably messing with me.
Yeah, probably just messing with you. But again, going back to the whole community thing, guys, it's been awesome. I've really enjoyed doing this, and
No, I
I can't
had it
wait to
right.
get to the
I had
next
it right.
round and do it some more. So thank you guys so much. You guys make this what it is. It's the comments and the questions. We're just kind of facilitating it at this point.
So
So
we're around for another round,
yeah,
at least.
no, it's great, right?
Oh,
it's,
my wife is thrilled.
It's at least another week and a half.
The beards
Right?
live on.
The beard's live on. That's the other thing I was going to mention is
Yeah.
this beard is getting really gross and it's getting hotter outside, which just sucks. It's like, oh my gosh, I need to change.
But you're trimming it up. I'm not even trimming it
I'm
up,
only
so.
trimming the neck beard.
Yeah.
I don't like the neck beard.
Okay.
And then a little
On
bit
the
right here
cheeks.
just to make it look a
Yeah.
little bit
You
more
got to look
contained.
presentable for a little while.
Yeah. Yeah, I have work to do, so I need to look semi-professional versus just the wild man over here,
man.
Burns.
Doing it. Not quite
Gross.
gross, but yeah.
Gross.
So yeah, I guess we're good to go? We're all out?
I think we're
All
gonna
the
be good to
comments and
go.
questions are done and we're in?
We thank you for joining us, and we will record something between now and the next series, so be sure to subscribe and have notifications on so you know when it comes out. And we'll do a series recap and a series preview for the next one. So join us for that. Join
Very
us on
good.
socials.
Yeah, socials. Again, at the Fin Factor for Facebook and Twitter, at Fin Factor for Instagram, and again, subscribe. So that is it. So thank you guys again so much. We love having the interactions. Please do join us for the next live where we're going to be coming to you from round 3, Western
Also,
Conference Finals.
A real quick thank you to the couple people that bought some merchandise tonight during the show.
Yeah.
And if you'd like to buy some merchandise, you can go to thefinfactor.com, and there is playoff mode is the what's it called?
Coupon code.
Coupon code.
10%
for
off your
10% off.
entire order. So if you buy a hat, all 3 shirts, or 4 shirts really, and some stickers, which of course you will, then you'll get 10% off of that entire order. Very
Right.
good?
That's
cool.
the last thing we plugged.
So for super producer Jason, super key grip Joe, I'm Paul.
And I'm Aaron.
And this has been so much fun. Thanks again. We will see you
In a few days.
in a few days.
Bye.
Bye.
Charizard.
Go Sharks.
I don't want to say what day because we don't know.